Hey, welcome everybody to the Great Maker Chat live stream that I do each and every Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific. We're live on YouTube, we're live on Twitch, and welcome everybody for dropping in. Each and every week, we have many different people from around the world. From time to time, we have this guy or that woman or this woman. Different people drop in and talk about what they're working on, concerns they have. People in chat drop in from time to time. They ask questions in chat. We try to answer them when possible. We always read all the comments. If we get busy, we may not answer every comment, but we try to. And I've got a few people in the back room. I can have up to 10 people at a time on screen. And today we're going to be giving away 2 rolls of Ziltech filament. Last week I gave away a roll to a person called HC. He failed to get a hold of me all week long, so we're redrawing that filament. When I do a giveaway, please contact me within 48 hours. So today, tomorrow, at the latest, let me know what type of filament you'd want and give me your mailing information in the U.S. and we'll get it sent out to you. I done everything I could to try to contact this person till like Wednesday, and then I gave up, so we're redrawing that filament today. Anybody in the world can win the filament, but it has to go to a USA address from Ziltech.com. They're based out of Texas, and they only ship to the USA. It'll be for a roll of PLA, PETG, or ABS. They run about $20 a roll. And if it's in stock, we'll send it out immediately when we do the drawing. We'll do the drawing in probably about 2 hours. Please like, subscribe, follow, and all the above. Share this. I'd really appreciate it. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel and my presence over on Twitch. So do whatever you need to do, and I appreciate all that you do. But right now, let me pull the people in that are in the back room, and we'll get going, and then we'll look at chat and see what we got there. Hey, Matt, how are you doing?
Hey, how's everybody?
Real good.
I'm good.
Hey, Richard.
Hey.
Hello. And we have a special guest that's going to start streaming more, but he's been under the weather, and here he is, the one, the only, Liam.
I'm in Michigan. It's always under the weather. There's always something wrong with the weather here.
There's no excuse.
Liam, quit your complaining. Come to Canada. We have minus 40 below weather here.
You know, the I don't like the extreme cold. I get cold when it drops below 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So I don't like the cold at all. So no, you can enjoy it, Richard. I'll trust you that it's nice.
I'm not this big just because, you know, I'm a burly guy.
It's insulation.
To keep friggin' warm.
I know. Well, we get negative. We get really cold winters here in Michigan too. Like we've had negative 36. So negative 36 Fahrenheit and negative 36 centigrade, they're the same.
Kind of looking through chat. Hello, everybody. Welcome over on Twitch and YouTube. And now that I'm actually talking to people, my dog's going to bark, wanting a cracker or a bone. Because she does this every time I'm talking to somebody. If I'm watching a YouTube video, she won't do anything. But if I'm talking to somebody, then she's got to act up. She's like, okay, give me something.
So we got an update. I got an update for everybody. Finally, my replacement Bamboo Labs P1P is on the way. It was scheduled to be delivered Monday, but they changed it to Tuesday. So it looks like I'll get it. Actually, Mr. Diesel just asked about it. So it's arriving Tuesday. So I will unbox it again Tuesday to see how it goes. And I will do the test print that I've been doing all along to make sure it comes out well. Which is my one worry. Because if it's bad, it's going back. And I'm going to say, give me my money. I'm done. I'm not playing with you anymore, guys.
Yeah,
I'm done with you. So all going well. I'll get a properly working machine coming in on Tuesday, and then I have a 10-kilo spool of PETG to go onto it to start printing. If you haven't, have you seen the 10-kilo spool, Richard?
Yes.
Yeah, this thing is massive. It's huge.
I actually have one coming to me from a customer return to filaments.ca. They phoned me up on Friday and said, we're sending this to you because we want you to test it because the client says it doesn't work. And you have a variety of machines, so you get to test this 10-kilo spool.
Here's my guess, is they didn't have on a bearing spool holder, and it didn't move properly.
I would guess.
That's why they didn't extrude right. Yeah, I'll show the 10 kilo I have, Joe. Let me show you.
Hey, Joe, how you doing today? Thanks for joining. Anybody in chat, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If you would like to drop in on stream, you're welcome to do so.
Yeah, sorry.
As long as you're wearing clothes.
So you've all seen a 1 kilo spool, right? So that's a 1 kilo. So this is what it. Okay, I need 2 hands. This is what a 10 kilo looks like in comparison to a 1 kilo.
That's crazy. Just got to get that thing to spin.
Size.
And
Yeah, so I'm getting my workout for today. Difference in size. See?
Nice.
Get our workouts.
There you go.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get a spool holder with a brake on it so it don't tug and start.
No. I have spool holders that I printed that have 3 bearings front and back. So it rolls on the bearings, and I can just move them. They're 2 separate stands. And if I need to make it tighter, so add a bit of resistance, I can put something. I can loosen the bolts that hold it together and slide something in there so it creates a little bit of pressure by tightening the bolt. Yeah, I'm a little out of breath. That thing's heavy, and that will actually cause a small bit of resistance. But I don't think resistance will be a problem until I get to about halfway through the spool. Then,
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Dominic Versata popping in.
well, Dominic,
Dominic,
Hey, Dominic.
Mr. Versetto, where's your video?
How you doing?
Do you see his video? I don't.
I don't
Yeah.
see the video. I don't hear his audio either.
It popped up black, but now I see him. He's blurry and he's not talking. Hey, Dom, can you hear us?
Ready?
Betty
No, I
Boop,
don't see him.
hello.
Or hear him.
Dominic, can you hear us?
Oh, I can't hear him.
Hey, there's the lovely Betty Boop. Give her a big kiss for me, Jerry.
All right.
I'm actually going to do the enclosure for my
I
my
could connect
P1P.
with a hardwire.
Oh, there you are, Dominic.
There's Dominic.
How you doing?
He's frozen. Dominic, you need to feed the gerbil that keeps your internet running.
Yeah,
He's a little bastard.
you're frozen, Dominic.
I'm doing.
No, you're all broken up, Dominic. We can't hear you. Dominic's been in chat since forever.
Yeah.
Dominic has been on many of our streams over the years, and this is the actual first time I'm seeing him on screen.
Mm-hmm. Same for me.
He's
been on
dropped
my
in,
streams
he's
as
dropped
well.
in here before, but he's always had video problems.
Yeah, you're having video and audio problems, Dominic.
Try to rejoin Dominic.
Yeah.
Okay, he's refreshing. Let's see what happens here.
But yeah, so so that's what's going into the Bamboo Labs. I'm guessing I'll get 1 month of printing out of it,
Gotcha.
and after that I'll have to put a new one in there. It's it's recycled. It's RPETG that is, and it's $180 for the spool.
Exclusion print zone. You mean an area where I can't print?
Do you know there's an exclusion print zone? There is an area around a border around the edge of the printer that you can't print on.
That's interesting.
Most printers have that though. Most printers, when you look at them, there's a little
there's a safe zone area.
But you can actually go in and modify that out of there. I know in Cura profile, you can go in and edit the Cura profile, the JSON files, and modify it to take it out.
You don't even have to modify the JSON file. All it is your actual printing area that you can set that within the printer settings.
Yeah, but no, but to take it, instead of actually growing your bed, you can go into the JSON file and modify it. It actually takes away the exclusion zones.
Look at that.
This is from Lightspeed's Patreon. He sent me my damn camera. He sent me 3 different files to print out. I'm going to be doing a video on it. It's got a plug in the bottom, and I oversized it by 3%. That way, all bottles would fit in here. Because the way he had it designed was for Coors bottles, and they're really tight. So I went by my local bar, and they gave me 3 bottles out of the trash of different varieties that I asked for. And then I went to the store and bought a couple 12 packs just so I could get 2 bottles. And I'll eventually drink the beer. But I got a video that's going to be coming out on this. Well, I had a problem. It took like 2.5 days to print this, almost 3 days. Many, many layer changes on 3 colors.
Yeah.
And my prime tower was right up here to the neck. And I went to the store this morning and it fell over. When I came back, it fell over. So now I'm getting debris and stringing all over the top of this print. So I got some duct tape and I taped the prime tower back down with duct tape to the bed. That way it could drizzle on top of it and finish the print. Then I took my fingernail and I cleaned up the edge. Now it is a little damaged in that area on a few layers from that stringing mess it made. But other than that, it came out perfect. And yeah, a lot of time.
Yeah.
So
I've done it where we had a prime tower or something and it looked like it was going to wobble, or supports even that were going to wobble. So I get out masking tape and I tape it to the bed up along the sides of it to hold it in place.
Yeah, I put nano polymer on the bottom to print real quick, thinking I could stick it, but that didn't work. So,
No.
Yeah.
So, Chris, what IDEX did you get?
I guess it's
Chris got an
I guess
IDEX machine. I'm wondering which one. I have 4 IDEX.
still not working.
We can hear you, Dominic. At least we can hear you now. Or the Kaiwu. Okay, I don't have the Kaiwu. Do you like it? So, Dominic, what's going on?
Can you hear us, Dominic?
I think his internet's too slow.
And then last week I done a video that I took down where I was talking about the problem I was having with my AMS slot 1. When it retracts the filament, it wouldn't go quite far enough, and I would have to pull it up about 1 inch, and then it would change over to the second roll. Then when it went back to the first roll, I would have to feed it in about 3 inches to get it to grab. Well, I contacted Bamboo Labs, took them almost a week to get back with me, and they wanted the video of it and pictures. So I sent them everything they asked for, and they determined what I did, that there's something wrong with the feeder unit on the one slot. So they're going to be sending me a voucher for $40 so I can go to the website here in the U.S. and reorder that part.
So, Dominic, your video is frozen, your audio is spotty. Do you still have Twitch or other video stuff running in the background that's using the internet? If so, shut them down. Just keep this tab open for StreamYard, because something's consuming your bandwidth, and that's why you're having problems communicating with us.
Oh, nice.
Well, I don't have when they first came out. Yeah, when they first came out with the Tycoon, the Kaiwu IDEX, there was myself and another guy in the UK. We actually, or no, here in the States. Sorry, we kind of tweaked and worked on the firmware about it, and they sent him a machine. I didn't get one, but they sent one to him, which is fine. And we found some. I'm sure they've changed it, but when they did the beta testing, there was some corrections we had them do on the hardware. So, hey Dusty, how's life?
Oh, Dusty, how you doing?
So Dominic, did you shut everything else down so we can let's try it now?
Still don't hear him.
Yeah, I think his internet's too slow, or it's overloaded.
You're frozen, Dominic. I'm going to bump you back out.
Dominic needs to shut down all those idle side tabs that he has open so he can actually get higher speed throughput.
So when Bamboo finally got back with me, when I sent them the video, they asked for my mailing address and my email, even though they answered me through my email. But I guess through their server, whatever. I sent them my phone number instead of my email with my address. So now I got to I had to send it back to them again. So hopefully tonight I'll wake up in the morning. I'm hoping, if they're working.
No, they won't.
They'll
They
send me
don't
the
work Sundays.
that I need.
It's their Sunday now, so they won't be working.
Yeah.
So it'll be Monday morning or Monday night. Their Monday morning, your Sunday night before they respond. Sometimes during that night.
Unless the email went to the U.S., but then again, it's weekend, so they probably aren't working.
No, they haven't established their U.S. support yet. They are hiring people for the U.S., but they haven't trained them up yet, so it's not happening. Hey, Sergio.
Hello, Sergio. How are you?
So my guess is it's going to be China that's going to be answering you, Jerry.
Mr. Diesel, slot 1 on my Bamboo. When I do a multicolored print, slot 1, when it retracts, it doesn't retract far enough. and the motor just sits there and it runs and it runs and it runs with a white light on, and it can't go to the second or third or fourth spool. So I have to physically pull up the filament about an inch to get the sensor to know it's shut, know that it feeded far enough to grab the next spool. Once it goes back to that spool, most of the time, slot 1, the motor runs, but it can't grab the filament, so I got to feed it in about 3 inches, then it grabs and takes over. Well, about a week ago, I had to do this like 30 or 40 times, and it just got ridiculous because the print was going to take a couple days. So I moved away from slot 1 altogether, and then once in a while it works, most of the time it don't. I sent Bamboo Labs a video of it, and then one time it even had a red light. It didn't retract far enough and had a red light. So there's something wrong with the motor on slot 1, so they're going to send me a new unit. Or they're going to give me a code so I can order a new one. It'll cover shipping and everything. So the new feeder assembly. And I talked to Jason, the tech guy here in town. He's got 4 AMS units. We done a private StreamYard, and he said to take compressed air. So I went and bought a can of compressed air. And he's talking about sticking it down the hole where you feed the filament. Well, actually, if you take the spool completely out, the back side of that unit is completely wide open. I blew everything out, and that didn't solve the problem. So, anyway, yeah, I got
a KSP program.
Oh, that's the new version of Kerbal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff missing still. There's the basic stock system. Yeah.
It's in beta right now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought it yesterday when it came out.
The and my Bamboo, my P1P was giving turbo print quality, and the replacement should be arriving Tuesday. So I'll test that on Tuesday evening. I'll set it up and test it Tuesday evening, and if it prints great, then I have this to go onto it.
That's crazy.
So, Jerry, I don't know if you watched any of the shorts I've done recently on the stuff that's been coming in for my dedication build. But I want to ask the group collectively, and those that are in chat, both on YouTube and on Twitch today, which hot end should I put onto the new Voron build that we're going to start here very soon? We have from LDO the Revo Voron in the LDO blue.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes with 2 nozzles, a 0.4 and a 0.6.
Nice.
Or do we put the Dragon hot end? This is the Fetus X. Oh, that's the right way. Look at that. Isn't that thing gorgeous?
Nice.
The Revo's got some really good reviews, but the Dragon is a lovely looking nozzle.
Or do I build mounts for both and then just compare them?
There's probably already mounts out there already that you just to print.
Yeah, I just have
to the Voron side. I'm sure there's mounts already out there for both. Yeah, I think the Dragon. I would agree with you, Sergio. The Dragon just looks cool, and it's got a great reputation.
I got to thank Fetus for sending that out, because they send out a lot of stuff, stickers, a whole bunch of stuff.
Here's what I think. You do a video on one installing it and what you think of it. Then you do a video, take it off. Then you do a video on the other one installing it and what you think of it. And then you do a third video using footage from the first and second to make the third video what you think of both.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
So Chris, there's a problem with IDEX. If you do IDEX on, if you can do a Voron IDEX, you can do that. But Clipper to date still does not support duplication or mirror modes. Now, it's in development. There's a guy in France who's working on it. He's gotten it working, but it hasn't been rolled into the normal fold of the build yet. Some of it, of his code has, but not all of it. So if you're doing 2 colors or 2 materials, it works fine. But duplication mirror mode, is not working in the standard Clipper build. But there are a few people out there who've gotten it working, but it's going through review and some tweaks and so on before it's rolled into the standard build. Because I have a manufacturer I'm working with who wants it, and we're trying to reach out to the guys who've gotten it working. I am for them, who've actually gotten it working, saying, guys, what have you done? Give me your code, what you've done. I wanted to implement this in a full production environment. into a full-blown machine.
I think with this one, it's just going to be a single head. I may eventually do the enraged rabbit and add it to the printer, but at this time, I think I'm going to just do single head and then just be able to swap them out because I'm going to put in the daughter board on the
head
shelf burner so that it's easy to remove and upgrade.
Talk with Tim D with 3D.
Yeah,
you know Tim.
I have.
But he's built a lot of this. He's got more Vorons than you can shake a stick at. He's got 5 of them at the moment, 5 or 6.
He's got 4 Vorons.
4 Voron. Okay, so
and 1 rat rig.
Yeah, the rat rig was the first one he ever built.
Yeah.
And how, like, if you're going to start the machine, why not start in a 500 by 500 machine, right? But
and he hasn't used it much. That's the surprising thing.
He's used it a few times. He's made money out of it because of what he does in his business, and he's had to print some large models, and he's done some, and it's ideal for that. But for general day-to-day stuff, yeah. Now, if you're doing duplications, Vorons can run on Marlin and Repetier. If you write, yeah, they can.
Yeah.
But most people use Clipper because even though they have input shaping now, they don't have the option for the accelerometer yet on Marlin. It doesn't have so there's a lot of stuff like that. It doesn't have the fine tuning if you want to print fast.
I've got more taping to do tonight after I get done live streaming, but here's my thumbnail for my upcoming video. That's what I came up with.
Pirate koozies.
Wait now, Jerry, you have to be in there with a bandana and a patch over one eye.
And a big earring.
And he's already got the earring. Come on.
I've got the bandana. Actually, I had a hoop earring. I lost it, so my wife gave me this rhinestone I stuck in here because I lost my hoop that I had. I have a bandana. I don't have a patch, but I could make one. And yeah, I did think about that. You made it, you know.
Yeah, anyway. You should. Actually, with the beard, he'd make a great pirate.
Yeah.
Harby dar.
Yeah, I still might. I got a couple bandanas. Maybe I'll throw a bandana on and find an eye patch.
Yeah.
So
we know you need to know. Well, it's a pity.
Hey, Chris.
Not Chris Mink. What's his name? The guy that's got the bird.
Rob Mink.
Chris. Yeah. Yeah, it is Chris Mink. Is it? No, it's not Chris Mink. What's his name?
Rob Mink.
Rob Mink. Yeah. That's it. Chris's brother.
Yeah. I said hi to Chris. That's in chat. Chris Mink's here.
Yeah.
It's Rob Mink that has a bird.
Yeah, Rob. So if you had Rob, if Rob was anywhere nearby you, you could sit there with a bandana and the patch and have the bird on your shoulder. Throughout the live stream.
Money to see that.
Yeah, I don't know, Dominic. Your video was frozen. Your voice was really gargled.
I think it's your internet speed is a problem, Dominic. I think you're running it. I don't know if you're on Wi-Fi at home or if you're on hardwire. Hardwire, like an Ethernet connection into the router, is way better than Wi-Fi for video streaming.
What you drinking out of there today, Jerry?
Miller Genuine Draft. I got a bunch of bottles in the fridge. I needed one bottle, and they didn't sell a 6-pack at Walmart, so I had to buy a 12-pack. And then I wanted the Corona because Trevor printed out the jug, and it was too tight on his Corona. And when these were designed by Lightspeed, he made them, they're snug, but he drinks Coors, I found out, and he has to kind of cram the bottle in tight. So after I did the second two, I printed them in 103%, and then everything works fine. And then I went by the bar, and I got them to go through their garbage, and they gave me 3 bottles, and I wanted 5 or 6, so then I went to the store and bought a couple more.
I don't know why then, Dominic. So there was one thing that's missing, right? A compartment where you can open it up and put a small bit of dry ice in there, and when you put the bottle in, that will keep it really chilled all the way.
Yeah.
A little small piece of dry ice in the bottom of the bottle will actually chill the whole bottle for you.
This plug that he made has an insert in the middle, like you take a coin to turn it, and that's so if it ain't quite tight enough, you can screw this in up further.
Yeah, it's a lift for the bottle.
On some bottles, you might need to put a little something in there, a little piece of something to push up the bottle. Because I put one of my wife's wine coolers in here, and I had to go up a good inch. So you need something on top of the plug.
But if that part you lift up was indented, you could put the dry ice there and then screw it in.
Yeah.
And on the bottom of the bottle, it will actually freeze. That will chill the whole bottle for you.
And the one I did from Nico, which was too tight, and I should have sized it up. His bottom, instead of putting the plug in the bottom, Nico had the base was cut on the side, which I didn't like because when you snugged it up, it didn't line up right. It went too far.
Yeah.
And that was like $8 for that model. And then his threads were backwards. You know, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Well, he had lefty tighty, righty loosey. He had it backwards for some reason.
I went out with girls like that once. They were kind of backwards.
Yeah.
They were sisters.
Well, that's more of a statement about you, Rich, than anything else.
Well, in all fairness, it was the late 70s, early 80s.
And I've got a Kaiwu Max that I'm selling up for sale, but it has a layer shift problem at a certain height. I don't remember, like 6-7 inches up at layer shifts, and I'm not sure why it's doing that. It's a pretty simple printer. Maybe my Z-rod is bent or something. I'm not sure, but I've tried to sell it as is, telling people what's wrong with it, and I've had no takers. So I'm going to have to take the ad down, fix the problem, make sure it prints right for about a week with multiple prints, and relist it. And then my Weedo X40 should have been sold last night. A guy wanted it last week, wanted to come up and put a deposit on it. I said, no, just wait till you have the money, call me. And then he, a week later, gets a hold of me, comes up last night. He tries to have his wife on the phone transfer me the money to my bank account through Zelle, and it didn't go through. So something happening on their end with their funds. So he said he would get a hold of me today, but up to this point, I haven't heard from him. So no worries.
Jack is saying, I married a girl that's kind of different once. She's sitting right here beside me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Vincent, 1977 All Out, joining us. Hello, Vincent.
Good evening, guys.
How are you today?
Okay. Tinkering around with some stuff.
How's your printer going, Vincent? No problems?
Making 20 bins at one sitting.
It's going great?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Nice.
Yeah, we jumped in a live stream and we got him. We got his printing solved.
Yeah, you want to hear something funny?
Go on.
I had it running here when we were finished. A day later, my son asked me how it worked. So I was telling him, you have to do this. Don't touch this. Don't touch this. Third time, don't touch this. And he grabbed the Z-rod and he did.
Yeah, but it's an easy fix now, though. But you know what to do.
Now I know what. Oh, done.
Yeah.
Once you hammer, don't touch this. Great song.
Yeah, so really quick, it was about.
No, what you should have said, do touch this, do touch this, do touch this, and he wouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a wet paint sign. You paint something, you put up a sign, everybody has to come by and see if the paint's dry.
Oh, yeah,
20-minute work to fix it. So.
Yeah, but at least now you know the process to get it right.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Of course.
Now I'm making these small bins because I've got a system that I'm working on.
How you doing?
Like these little drawers.
Yeah.
And I'm designing bins for inserts for these. Because
Pete, 1 second, Pete. You said you're using that term "gentleman" very loosely. I'm assuming, right?
Need some LEDs.
Looks like gummy bears.
Those were gummy bears for a second.
Yeah.
It's all different sizes: 5 millimeters, 3 millimeters, 1 centimeter, so 10 millimeters. LEDs. LEDs.
Oh, yeah. I have a box of them outside. Yeah, that I use.
About I think it's about around the 10,000. So.
I don't need that many, but I do use LEDs every now and again.
Yeah, so I've been sorting through and buying these things so I can stack them and finally got my tools and all my parts on one spot because it's all over the place.
Oh, I got a new piece of astronomy equipment too. Let me show.
Vincent, do you want to come to my house and organize what's behind me? I'm going all over the place too.
Man, don't get me started. I was searching through my data for the past week. I had about 20 hard drives to sort through. Man, it was a hassle. So finally starting to get some view on everything, where everything is and what kind of parts I'm having. Because sometimes I buy parts that I already got. It's a waste of money.
So I got a new piece of astronomy equipment as well. It's a filter wheel for when they're doing astrophotography, and it's a
I
motorized one.
I need a filter wheel on my mouth when I'm not online.
Well, you don't have a filter even when you are online, Jerry. So the way this works is, you put a series of filters inside in there, and this is all motorized down here. So you set up your camera and attach your camera to this, take photographs through your telescope, and then in the software you specify what this is a 5 position. There's 5 different filters can go inside here, and you specify what each one is in the software. So you take so many shots through R, red, then green, then blue, and then either luminance or HA or hydrogen alpha or whatever. And then when you bring all of those in there, you only get individual colors in each image, and then you stack them in the software. And that's how we do some deep sky astro imaging. So the new filter wheel for my scope.
Nice.
Yeah, so this will actually tie in. The camera will actually mount on here, or our camera go on here. This will go into the into the back of the scope. There's a nose piece that goes on there to make it attached to the back of the scope, and it's all the computer will drive it all. The Raspberry Pi will drive all of it.
Nice.
Nice.
Very cool.
So I'm going to be doing, because I'm getting ready for I want to do a lot more imaging this year than I normally do, and I used to do it like full color, but I'm actually going to get a monochrome camera, and to do color images with a black and white camera, you use filters. So you take with a black and white camera, which is more sensitive than a color camera, you take through a red filter and you assign them as red, the red band. Same for green, same for blue, and whatever. And by assigning them, and then what you do is when you stack the images together, you transpose what the amount of light gathered into the red color, into the green color, into the blue color. And a monochrome camera is way more sensitive than a color camera is. If you know how cameras work, on a camera you have 4.
I know. I was a photographer for many
Well, you
years.
know that most people don't. So on a camera pixel, you have four pixels really, 1 red, 1 green, 1 blue, 1 clear. Is that how it happens, right? And so when you're taking a photograph of something, you're only and it's not the color. If the image you're looking at is not a red, green, or blue, you're only really gathering data in the clear one. The others are being ignored. So you're only getting one quarter of the amount of light collected for each photograph. Whereas on a monochrome camera, they're all clear. So you're only picking up only black and white, like monochrome. But that's why you filter it. So you assign a color to it based on the filter you're using. So that's why they're way more sensitive than a color camera is.
I'd like to show you guys a quick video of a time lapse of this bottle printing, and you're going to see the purge tower fall over while I was at the store and didn't know it. And then when I came back, I grabbed some duct tape and I taped it to the bed so the print could continue. And this will be in my video that I should hopefully will get done tonight or tomorrow.
You know why it fell over, don't you? It's a beer bottle. It was drinking on the job.
Yeah. Anyway, here, let me run it here. Yeah, Bamboo does perfect time lapses. I need to put something over my sticker in the back so it's not the light's not bouncing off of it like that. But and I'm using 5% infill, 6 top layers, 4 bottom, 4 perimeter.
Lights
But
Engraving. Hey,
every time it does a color change, it takes literally forever. So this is like a 2.5 day print. And lots and lots of wasted filament, but that's life. Oh, the tower's in the back left. You can kind of see it there. You'll probably see it fall over in a minute. You can see my okay, right when he gets to the straight neck, it fell. See it fell over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I reached my hand in and fixed it. And that was that. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got Nick from Blvd popping in. Hey, Nick. How's it going, buddy?
What's up, guys?
How are you today? How you been?
I've been good, man. I keep missing you guys. And I just got off the treadmill and I sat down and almost didn't make it in here.
Yeah, same time, same channel every week on Twitch and YouTube.
Hey, you actually, Nick, you'd like this. I'm not. I don't have a laser as big as yours, and I've always wanted to do an Ori, and a company that actually makes the wooden Oris sent me one. So you know what an Ori is, right?
No.
It represents.
Oh, that's
the
very
planet
cool.
in the sun. And
Oh
this is
yeah,
all-
I've seen those before.
Yeah, so that's called an Ori, and this is all laser cut, 3mm ply.
That's cool.
It's a full kit.
Oh wow.
So you put all the pieces together, and there's a little motor that goes in the bottom. There's a mountain of gears and stuff on it.
That's crazy. But that's
Like,
very cool.
all of these are cogs and gears to drive the system, right? And there's loads of them in there. But
So
and
are
that's
those
really
still-
the top layer.
Are those still tabbed in there? Like, do you have to pop each individual piece out?
They're all and they are slightly tabbed, and you do have to pop each individual piece out, and that's not a problem. And then you'll have to do a bit of sanding. We're assembling it, and for the lubricant for the gears, because it's wood, it actually uses candle wax.
Wow.
Neat.
Because if you use an oil, I think it'll get absorbed. So candle wax is like a paraffin candle is kind of greasy, oily. So
Right.
and the outcome will be this.
That's cool. I don't know if I've
So
seen
I
one
don't
made
have
out of
my
wood,
laser's
but I've
not
seen
big.
that before.
You could cut that in your bigger laser. My laser is not big enough to cut this. So that'll be
Give
a
me the
fun
plans,
project.
man.
I'm going to
What's
start
your-
it tomorrow.
Nick, your big laser, what's the build area? How big can you cut on that? Is it like 3 foot by 4 foot or something?
It's 4 foot by 2 foot. Well, it's 40 inches by 24, but it's also open architecture. I can take the bottom out of it. So, like,
Yeah.
I did it when I did my desk. My desk is like 72 inches. I just slid, part of the desk under there, engraved it, and then flipped it around into the other side.
Yeah, there's no base in it. It's an open design on the bottom. You can it allows you to put really big stuff. I've seen the laser you have. You can put a whole stone tablet underneath it and engrave it underneath.
Yeah, interesting story. The guy that founded AP Laser used to sell granite to funeral homes and started, or I guess had the laser built because it was a faster and more precise way to do gravestones, tombstones, and stuff like that.
Yep. So yeah, it's a cool story behind it, but yeah, it's a nice open design. You have no limitation on size now with it.
Right.
All you need is a pallet truck to move the stone.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, it comes with a big old. I've got a big old lift that. I mean, it's a manual crank, but it'll hold up to 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So I have a 3D printing question for everybody.
Okay.
When you buy a new file and you've never printed it before, what steps do you go through to make sure? So I had a problem with, and I think it was the file after a couple trials and errors, but I tried to print something over and over, and it would get to like 90% done, and it would just fuzz out. And I tried a bunch of different stuff. A buddy of mine said maybe it's the ambient temperature change in the room and things like that, but it was always at the exact same spot.
What do you mean fuzz out?
It would. I was printing one of those 3D articulating dragons, and it would get up to like the top of the head, so everything else is printed and looks just perfect, and then it just it starts spaghetti monstering or whatever you call it. It's just it's not adhering anymore, and it just looks like a big old, for lack of a better term, it looks like a big old PLA afro on the thing. It's just and it ruins the print.
It's like a layer
It
shift.
sounds like he could be getting partial clogs, or the heat break might be overheating, not get cooling fast enough, or.
So how do you? I guess my question is, when you first get a file, what different things do you do to try to ensure that's not going to happen?
I drop it in my slicer. Let me go first. I drop it in my slicer. I set my layer height and my infill, and usually my layer height on something like that's 0.20. 5% infill. My layers are usually 6-4-4, 6 top, 4 bottom, 4 perimeter on everything I do, and then I just slice it and print, and it's usually fine.
So I'm using Cura.
Yep.
And I'm just using the default settings. Should I be changing those?
Well, that's all going to depend, Nick, on exactly what you're printing. The first thing I do with files that I purchased even files that I've found online that are for free, is I first take them into Mesh Mixer. I'm sure you're familiar with Mesh Mixer.
No.
He's brand new to printing.
Yeah.
Mesh Mixer is a program from the makers of Fusion 360.
Are you saying mesh?
Mesh.
Mesh is M-E-S-H.
M-E-S-H.
Yeah.
Mesh Mixer. It's a free software. You can download it, install it on your PC. I will take those, import those STLs in there, and I will check to see if they're watertight, because programs like Cura and some of the others that are out there won't always see the very small details that are kind of out of place.
Okay.
But Mesh Mixer will find them all. And then you can repair them in Mesh Mixer, re-export that file out as an STL or save it again as an STL, then bring it into your slicer of choice. On Cura, now there are better plugins to help this out, but on Cura, it's not flawless. And if it's always happening at the same spot, try printing something else that is of equal heights.
Okay.
This is what I would do first. Find another model that's of equal height, whether that be a base or whatever. Print that. If it happens at that same spot on another model, then it's the hardware, not the software, and not the filament you're using or the model.
Okay, I've printed taller than that, no problem.
Okay.
Have you printed, since that model screwed up, have you printed anything else taller that was fine after that?
Yes. So basically, I got one of the articulated dragons. I printed, or I downloaded it off of Colt 3D or whatever it is.
Pulse, yeah.
And like I said, I ran like 2 or 3 of them, and it just like same spot every time. I didn't realize that you could go back and reslice something. So I just downloaded, like I just found another one that looked pretty similar, really. I mean, the same height and everything. Printed that one, it printed fine. So
in your slicer, when you get on slicing, you can drag the slider and look at each layer as it's printing. And on that model, on those models, there shouldn't be any islands. You don't need supports. So I can't really say it's a support issue, because if you get a model that needs supports and you don't add supports, something's going to be out in midair like an island, and that's not going to print, and that's going to make a mess. But yeah.
So and then that's okay. So I have another question about that, because I printed a little Charizard for my kid, and the wings like broke, and I think it was because there's no supports. But I saw 2 models on like Thingiverse. One of them had supports and one of them didn't. So I didn't think I needed supports. If you've got stuff hanging out like that, you just always.
It depends on the angle.
Always have the supports. Okay.
Yeah, it depends on the angle. If it's 45 degrees, you probably will get away with it. If it's less than 45 degree angle, like the overhang, then you will probably need supports.
Download
Crucis at about 50, but 45 you can get away with. And I also find that the longer the overhang is, the higher the chance you need support.
Yeah, download Prusa Slicer. It's free. It's a lot better than Cura. I don't personally like Cura, and I use it. In the last 6 years, I use it if I have to.
I'm in the opposite to Jerry. I prefer Cura any day of the week over Prusa Slicer. I don't like Prusa Slicer, but I really prefer Idea Maker over them all.
And all these slicers, except for Simplified 3D, are free. So you should have them all on your computer, and then occasionally try out this slicer, that slicer. And
Jerry, it's funny that you mentioned that, because not only because of what I do online, but also my daily job, I have to have all slicers. I have to use them all. So do I prefer one over the other? I use Cura for certain things. I use Matter Control for other things. I use Prusa Slicer for other things.
Yeah.
Well, it's all going to be dependent on what you're finding the easiest learning curve on.
And I still use Simplified 3D, not the new version. It's buggy. And now that I got the Bamboo, I use their slicer, and their Bamboo slicer is awesome. So,
well, Bamboo is based on Prusa Slicer.
Yeah,
it's derivative of Prusa. So
yeah.
So Bamboo has their own.
Yes,
makes sense.
And you can download the Bamboo Slicer and use it on a variety of different 3D printers as well.
Okay, really?
You don't have to use it just for Bamboo machines.
But I will caution you about one thing. If you do Bamboo Slicer and you use it for other printers, it will work. but don't expect to use the bamboo profiles on most printers because the Bamboo Labs machine is designed to print breakneck fast. And if you try it on any other printer, yeah, you'll probably get spaghetti after layer 2. So
if you watch Teaching Tech's video that he came out with, I think yesterday or this morning or yesterday, there's another fork, Bamboo Lab Studio, that another company designed that supports a lot more printers like the Rat Rig, the Moron, and different things. So check out Michael's Teaching Tech's video on that. But this was done a multicolor. It took about 2.5 days in the Bamboo Labs. It's 3 different colors, and
it's awesome.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll get my video done tonight or tomorrow. I'll get done on it. Because now my upload speeds are slower than hell. So even if I get the video down, it'll take forever to upload to YouTube. But
Nick, if you ever need any help with 3D printing, just feel free to reach out to me.
Yeah, okay. Same here.
Same what I did.
That's what I do for a living.
Yeah.
I couldn't fix my Ender 5 Plus because I'm still, after 4 years, a beginner with some printers.
Soft Fever. I'm not familiar with Soft Fever.
We charge $9.99 a minute.
Vincent, what I would do with that Ender 5 Plus is take it out to the dumpster and just put it there. Somebody will pick it up.
It's running flawlessly now.
It's flawless. I love my 5 Plus. He just needed to help getting it properly leveled, and once I got him through the process, now he can do it. And because we jumped in a live, him and I together, and we got it working, and now he's just pumping out prints. Like my Ender 5 Plus is a rock star machine.
It just
never fails me.
It just stopped in the middle of a 4-day print. Fun.
Really?
Hey,
yeah, I'm not kidding.
Tripod, he's still in chat, right?
It's telling me that it's got a thermal runaway.
What do you think of this banner? What do you think of this banner tripod? It's going to be for my new video that I don't have released yet.
Soft Fever. Oh yeah, that's the banner. Yeah.
So that really sucks.
So I have a question. Would you guys believe that these 2 models were printed with the exact same filament?
No. Is this? Or is that a transition spool?
That's the exact same filament.
Wait, now, is it a transition spool?
It is. This is the first time I've used this company's filament. This
that's okay.
Polymaker Polylight temperature change. Green to lime. This looks more lime to me, but it heats up when you hold it. I've been holding my beaver for half an hour.
You didn't even know that.
Just to get it to change. That's what she said.
Well, that's what happens if you hold it for half an hour.
Yeah, it will change. But this is something I tell everybody to do. And Jerry's going to go, oh, here goes the preacher again. Temperature towers. These work.
How many temp towers? Oh, thank you very much, Nick, for the $20.
Sure.
Wow.
Rich, I'm a solid believer in temp towers, retraction testing. You should always. I believe.
Awesome super chat.
Thank you.
What is a temp tower?
I agree with you, Richard, about temp towers and retraction testing.
Yep.
What's a temperature tower?
A temperature tower is a tower you press to show you exactly what the best temperature is for that particular material.
Yeah.
I've done 3 or 4 different videos on it on my channel, and I will tell you that I hammer this in pretty much every time I talk about filament. Do a temperature tower. It's going to save you a lot of frustration in the end.
I don't think Jerry has ever printed one.
No, he's not. Neither has Tim from DeWitt.
Speaking of Tim from DeWitt, hey Tim, how you doing?
Hey, hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
So
I'm doing good.
And now that you've seen my color changing beaver, you want to see my squishy beaver?
Well, it's too early today for this.
Yeah, I wanted to put a red border around it, but I'm not sure if you're thinking red has a people.
Don't. So I didn't even think about this. I used to put a red border around every one of my videos because red's kind of my color. And people said, I had somebody tell me one time that they can't tell if they've watched the video or not because you've got a little red bar that goes under your video, under the video that shows you how much you've watched on
Okay.
YouTube. If that red border makes it so you can't really tell if you've watched it or not. So
Okay.
he's like, I've skipped a bunch of your videos because I thought that I'd already watched them.
Yeah, Jack, I agree with you. I print everything at 210 usually, and I've never done a temp tower, and things just usually work for me. But
I do some material at 190. I do some at 195, depending on the manufacturer and the color. I've done some up to 220, depending on the manufacturer.
if I'm printing something and out of the blue I get what looks like under extrusion, the first thing I do is I'll kick the temp up 5 or 10 degrees, and if that don't fix it, then I just lost my print. I got to clean the nozzle and start over.
I build a whole series of profiles, and so I'll optimize one for a material, for a manufacturer, and I'll print on it on that machine. So if I ever go to that machine, I have a whole list of profiles for different material types that I use. I do default a lot to IC3D and recycled PETG. I really like to recycle that big spool I showed you is recycled PETG, and that's what I love because I primarily print PETG, right?
Speaking of Tim from DeWitt, he made this
Awesome super chat.
Sweet.
Awesome super chat.
So that was actually Tim's voice, just actually changed the pitch a little.
Oh, non-fam. My wife received the filament what he sent. Thank you.
That's my real voice. This is
Jim, how was your movie?
Oh, that explains a lot.
It's good. It's good. Okay, you want to know what frustrates the crap out of me? I ran these last night. These parts turned out nice. Okay.
Metamucil.
These turned out really good, and then I start another one. I come home today to this. Look at
yeah. Under extrusion.
Yeah, look at that. Under extrusion. Same settings, same everything. So anyways.
I think it's a Bowden tube.
It's not a Bowden tube. It's a direct drive.
The Voron uses a reverse Bowden setup.
It does,
direct drive pulls.
But if there's a kink inside,
it's a 2 millimeter. It's a 2 millimeter tube. There's no kink. If there's a kink, let's see. Let me check my spool.
So the Vorons are direct drive. It's like the Bamboo Labs. They're direct drive. They use a reverse Bowden setup.
Hey, Tim, something last night I kept saying in chat, and I don't think you read it, is I know you're never going to see the bottom on that, but putting that black cover, what if you put a clear plexiglass cover on the bottom? Then if you ever want to tip it up to show people, they can see all that neat electronics through the clear plexiglass. Or you can even have it set up where the machine is hinged, and you hit a servo, and it lifts the whole machine up and tilts it to show off the machine, then it can set back down. But having the black, you hide everything, and you've done a beautiful job on that. You should show that off whenever you want. I mean, let's just say you wanted to tip it over, and hey, guys, look what I did. You don't have to take off the cover and go through all that. Have clear plexiglass.
That's a good idea, actually, but I like the
and
servo
ladies and
idea.
gentlemen, we've got the one and the only Sam Prentice.
Hey,
Hey,
Sammy.
Hey,
I'll go for today.
How we doing?
Hey,
good.
We have to yell. He's far away from the camera.
Perfectly.
We have another bamboo sitting there, it looks like.
No, this is. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is yet. I haven't opened it. There's not another bamboo though. I don't think it is anyway. It's a bit small for a bamboo.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's made in China though, so who knows? Could be anything. It could be one of my scammers.
Awesome.
That would be funny.
Well, how you been?
Really good. It's so noisy in here that I don't know if you can hear the printers going at the minute.
No.
Not over you.
It's
Okay.
Yeah, savage. It's savage in here at the minute. But it's all good though. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Wonderful.
Smashing.
Yeah, we don't want to blow Sam's video, so he's not going to tell us what it is. But of course, he knows what's in his box. But anyway.
No, I don't. No, seriously, I don't. I've got no idea. These are the boxes that turned up this week. This is the Bamboo Labs AMS that I think you've got an issue with, right? You've got the issue with the first slot.
Yes, they're giving me a code so I can order a new one. And after a week, they finally got back with me. I sent them a video and pictures. They agreed that's what's wrong. And they asked for my shipping address and my email. And I gave my shipping address and my phone number So now I have to wait another day for them to read it. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Yep.
That's an awful small AMS.
Yeah, so somebody messaged me saying that this bit is the bit that's faulty and you can replace just that bit. But I just think that's a bit crap. I'd rather just do the whole thing. And then they went on to say that they had 4 fail across 2,000 prints. So that's that. So that's been sent. And I was going to do a stream on Friday because now I've got this little Ethernet dongle thing. And then I was going to do a stream today, but I was out. And I just haven't done it. So this is coming up. Amazing.
Yeah. When slot 1 retracts, the motor keeps running and it needs to go like another inch so a different slot can take over. So I have to help it by pulling it up about an inch. Then when it goes back to slot 1, the motor's running and it's not grabbing. So I've got to feed it in about 3 inches and it grabs. And I can't do that 1,000 times over a 2-day print. So I quit using slot 1, sent them a video showing what happened. Then the video would actually, one time it had a red light. So 99% of the time it's a white light and it won't retract far enough and it won't grab and pull back in. So I'm going to order a new feeder for it.
Yeah, I mean, bear in mind, the video was on Saturday, a week ago Saturday. This turned up a couple of days ago. So, cool. I can't really fault them. I haven't, although having said that, I've never had customer service with Prusa because I've never used it. So, to be honest, I haven't really used customer service with anything other than I think maybe there was Anycubic when they had that dodgy sensor thing issue on the Viper. But other than that,
you've been blessed because I've been fighting with them for a month, and eventually they shipped the replacement machine to me, which is arriving next week.
Yeah, Chris, that drop-in looks really cool. Once they release it, I've seen it on printables, and once some other people test it out, that'll hold any filament. You just use all the AMS guts to put in this new one that you print. That'll be really cool.
I mean, the next thing, I think you'll start seeing things like filament dryers being installed inside of these things. It's a work in progress. But I don't think I met with Bamboo this week, and to discuss all kinds of stuff. It's a Creality M4. No, that's on its way though. And they're talking about their marketing strategies and stuff, and how overwhelmed they've been with the community and how people have reacted to the printer and all that kind of stuff. So it was a good meeting, actually, really, really good meeting. But I don't, from what they were saying, I don't think they're going to be shipping any more printers to test or whatever. So it's I guess their game strategy is, I would assume, the thing is, when I was talking about the P1P and I was on this channel and I said, you remember when they just leaked a little bit of P1P and I was like, you won't see that till Q2 of 2023, and then it was just out before Christmas, and I said that to him and he was, we've got this game plan and this is what we're going to do, and they've obviously got some strategies there that's pretty damn good, to say the least. So
well, I will say that before they release new product, they need to get them out to people to beat them up, because they have run. I know they've been responsive, but they've run into issues with some machines like the AMS and all this kind of stuff, and it really needs end user trials and people like influencers, who's not going to, like our beta testers, who are really going to push the machine to find the flaws, and that way then they can get them out of the production system, because they have run into issues, and every manufacturer does, and some manufacturers do beta testing and some don't, and the more that do, end up with less issues down the line. So that's I think they need to start doing some of that.
Yeah, I think they weren't. The feedback that I certainly got from them was that they've learned some lessons, and it's nice. It's really nice and pure when you actually hear a manufacturer say, we've learned some stuff through this, because they're a 3D printing company.
Let me interrupt for a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got John from Tripod's Garage.
Oh no.
There goes the neighborhood.
Hey, John, how are you?
Well, I figured if you let Sam on, you'll let anyone on.
Well, we have no standards when time comes on, so we're.
Hello, Tom.
So, what's that big box there, Sam?
I don't know. I actually, honestly, don't know. It could be anything.
Is that my leg?
It might be. It might be. It might, if it's from China, it could be anything. It could be a scammer. It could be, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe it's a blow-up scammer. That's the That's the. I'll have a peek in the box. It might be a box in a box.
It sounds inflatable girlfriend.
Yeah, Chris Travis is in the. He came over and raided the house and took some equipment.
Oh, really? What did he
He
take?
got the IDEX. The guy.
The IDEX.
Yeah.
The Kaiwu IDEX.
How was that?
And a laser.
How is the Kaiwu IDEX?
It's nice. It's just it literally takes up too much room. But that's the only problem.
Yeah.
It's literally has about the same footprint as the Neptune 3 Max.
Okay, we're getting a sneak peek.
How good is that? How good is that?
Cute.
That is
That's
hilarious.
a scammer one. That's
amazing. Yeah. Okay, so this is the Anycubic Mono X resin printer because, of course, my channel's famous for resin printing, of course. So why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Okay.
They got that new big one they came out with. That's like $1,000, and they won't let me review it. So whatever.
Well, there's another one. Did you see the really big one? That's 400 by 400 by 200.
Really? Wow.
It's 400 wide, 200 deep, and 400 tall as a resin printer. Like, you need to buy resin by the gallon to keep that thing going.
I was gonna say it's gonna be a couple gallon size print there.
Oh, to even wet the FEP sheet, you need at least about a liter and a half.
Yeah. So tripod, you don't think I should have red text because that's
okay? Well, it depends on your background color. Red text is fine. It's switch it to like black and white, and then you'll see basically what a colorblind person would see. Okay, so that's, and plus it text will sometimes see it's you got a little bit. If you have like a white expanded white background there for your letters or edges, it will make it pop better. Like for your frosty beverages, right? That is kind of like blending in with the background.
Yeah, bump up your stroke on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's that's about it.
I would even say on Pirate Koozies, go ahead and bevel it.
I don't know what
I've
done that in.
It has a little bit of texture. It just pops a little bit better.
I've done that in Canva on a 30-day trial. Then it's like $15 a month. And I know there's that other program that you told me about, but I hate doing stuff on my cell phone because it's such a small screen. I prefer to have my desktop to work with.
Yeah, so like that's my new look. That's my new one right now.
Okay.
So
a lot of Sparky, a lot of people seem to be liking. It's not super high speed as a Core XY, but a lot of people like the Flying Bear printers.
The Flying Bear. The problem is that it's a Core XY. It's nice movement, but it's got all heavy components on it, so it can't go fast.
It can't go fast, but it can print well, and it's got a good motion system, from what I hear.
It doesn't. I have it. It doesn't print well when you print fast.
I said it cannot go fast.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it can. I'm like, no.
No, it can't. But but if you want something that's Core XY that prints well and not fast but well,
it's not a bad printer at all.
And
I just don't expect to print at high speed.
And it's not very expensive either.
No.
For a Core
No,
XY,
I mean,
what is it? The Flying Bear is like
it's like $320.
Yeah, $400 for a Core XY, and it's 300 by 300, isn't it?
No, it's smaller.
What's the print area?
It's like an Ender. It's smaller than like an Ender 3.
Well, you have. Which one do you have?
I don't know. I got the Go 6.
No, they have They have another one out now.
Oh yeah, the bigger one. They have a bigger one.
Yeah, and that's 3 by 3, I believe. Let me check.
Yeah, Dusty, I reviewed their Anycubic Photon Mono X a long time ago, but yeah, things have changed since then. So
I think this is the X2. This is their new one.
No, Llama. No, my father-in-law is. So sometimes I'll have him look at a thumbnail and see if he has any problems with it before I send it out.
Mm-hmm.
So
the Reborn 2 is the one. The Reborn 2 is a 325 by 325 by 350 build volume.
Yeah.
And that's the Reborn 2, and that's a new one.
That one has a lot more features.
It does, yeah. So and it's only 6. It's $559. for the Reborn 2, and that's a Core XY machine.
Hey, Sam, is that Craftsman resin?
This is ABS-like resin, clear.
Is it Craftsman brand from Anycubic?
Is it what brand?
Is it Anycubic resin that says Craftsman at the top? No?
No, it just says Anycubic on it.
Okay.
I do not want to go car shopping today.
Because they came out from Craftsman resin about a year and a half ago, and when I reviewed it, all my prints were fine. And then I went on Amazon, ordered 4 bottles, and every single print failed. It was like water, and I couldn't get nothing to print right, and I had to return it to Amazon. But the stuff I tested with that they sent was fine. So
Okay.
it's kind of like if I try a product that's bad, I never go back to it because there's so much competition out there. If I have a problem, then I usually don't give it another visit. I just move on.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But this was done on the Bamboo John. It came out really nice.
That looks good.
Still a nerd, how are you?
Light speed.
Who?
Yeah, he's been cranking out models left and right. I mean, and if you want anything that has like any type of threaded, he does it perfectly every time.
I've done all these in brown on this, but the color changes. It took 2.5 days to print just the base because of all the color changes.
Yeah,
so it came out beautiful.
I have some printer, some filament loaded up in the Bamboo, and then after I do my voiceover for tomorrow's video, then I'll load it up.
You know, what would be a nice slicer edition if you're doing multicolor, and if you're doing smaller components on the side, have the option of using those small components as your purge areas instead of doing a purge tower. So you get a multicolor small component that goes into the main body. That would be a lovely option in a slicer, wouldn't it? So you can actually what you're slicing and what you're purging to is actually part of the model, a usable part, like the top you have of the bottle there, Jerry.
I'm not understanding what you're saying. I was reading something.
No one understands what he's saying. That's the problem.
Well, we need Lightspeed in here as a translator.
Yeah, my translator is Lightspeed, yeah. And nobody understands him either. He's from Texas. Come on, guys.
It's Arizona.
Oh, I know I showed this a while ago. I'm going to start doing this week. Llama, just so you understand, it's called an Ori llama.
Yeah, an Ori, yeah.
It's wooden. It's
Ori.
plywood.
That looks like a drinking game that you throw like rings on or something.
Well, if you do it when you're drinking, you're going to make a mess of it.
No, you throw rings on the spinning parts.
Look,
so on the planets.
So I'm going to start building that tomorrow.
I got a CNC to build after this video.
What CNC? Oh, is it for a video or what?
Yeah.
Oh, then you can't talk about it. Okay.
Yep, and then finally I'll open up the crate. Whoa, who's this? Numbskull.
Hey guys, I gotta dip out. I got a barbecue.
Man, you gonna barbecue without me? Man.
Yeah, you
I thought we were friends.
Come on down.
Hey, you gotta head to Murph. Remember, we'll talk later about it. So.
All right, man.
See you later, Nick.
Thank you very much
Bye,
for
guys.
the super chat. When are you
Thank
going to be streaming again? When can people find you? Where are you going to be? What's going on?
I'm going to WorkbenchCon this week, so I won't have a live stream this Wednesday. So, not this coming Wednesday, the next Wednesday. There'll be a live stream on Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time.
Build Dad Build, everyone on YouTube. Build Dad Build. Thank you very much, my friend.
All right, guys, take it easy.
Ciao.
Later.
Bye.
Later, Nick.
So Sam, for Murph, you know the hotels are booked at Thursday, right?
I've already booked mine for Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
we did that. We did that a little while ago.
Look at that.
You guys are so lucky that you got these kind of events.
Start one.
Cannot happen here.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to.
Sam, if you're going to Murph, you might as well just skip up to Canada and come to Maker Faire in May.
So Liam, I've got a question. I just got a thermal runaway. It's printing again. But now my BO Touch is blinking. Is that normal?
No.
It's printing.
No, you could have a damaged wire on your BL Touch.
Okay.
And that usually will happen if the black wire on the BL Touch, and I've experienced this myself, it gets too warm.
Okay.
Well, I replaced my BL Touch with the non-touch probe from TH3D.
So I had a thermal runaway first. Maybe the wires are melting.
I wouldn't say melting. Thermal runaway could be a few things. Your heater cartridge could be loose. Your thermistor could be bad, or you should do a PID tune on it. I would highly recommend do a 10-cycle PID tune, and yes, it could be a loose wire somewhere.
Yeah, I agree with Dusty. It's probably a loose wire.
I'm in the middle of a 4-day print.
Well, you can't do it yet.
I'll be right back.
All right.
It's pretty cool for this laser. You just flip over the plate and you have a raised bed to cut through.
Oh, nice.
Got magnets too. It doesn't work that well, but
is that the new Pecker?
it's a portable folding laser engraver. All right, let me get it.
Oh, it's not the Pecker. The Pecker's kind of like that.
That's a little fiber laser. Okay.
No, it's just a 5-watt, 455.
Oh, it's a Galvo 455 nanometer. Okay.
Yeah, this will be given away on my next video, but it's actually really nice. Real nice. It's got Auto Z on it, so it has its own. And then here, let me unplug everything. So just do this.
Oh, packs up nice.
Yep. So
what do you think? I will stop the print and take everything apart and check it?
Well,
because it still needs about 2.5 days. It's my first time I have something like that. So.
And is thermal runaway still on the screen?
No, I turned off the machine, turned it on, and it asked me if it wanted to resume printing.
Is there a sock on the hot end?
Everything is still running, but
no. Jerry asked, is there a sock over the hot end?
Yeah.
Because the fan can cool it too much.
It's usually too much cooling. No sock will throw a thermal runaway.
Yeah, I would say start again, but I would do some. I would check all for any loose wires, and then I would and any damaged wires.
Was the thermal runaway on the hot end or the bed? The thermal runaway.
It wasn't telling it. It just said thermal runaway, and you had a blue screen with an orange triangle. That's it.
Yeah, it doesn't specify.
Okay.
And now, now the BL Touch is blinking, and it didn't do that before, so that's why I'm asking.
Well, the BL Touch blinking like that means it's not. Did the probe drop down and come back up or anything?
No, I turned it on, off and on again, and it asked me to resume, and
that means
went slowly back to the front.
What color is it blinking, blue or red?
Red.
That means it's not ready.
It's a signal issue that you've got.
Yeah, it's probably a wire on your BL Touch. You bought that used, didn't you?
No.
So just
the guy that I bought it from, he tried to put it together, but it never had it running. It was brand new out of the box.
Let Sam jump in.
So just quick, Richard. I know we were talking about this scammer stuff.
Yep.
So I've got on the Real Scam Apprentice channel. I'm talking to around about 20 scammers at the moment. It's rife out there, like rife. So this one's really funny, right? So yesterday they sent me the email anycubicofficial02@gmail.com. Now we're carrying on with the same conversation, and I said, "What was the email address again?" She said, "crealityofficial97@gmail.com." So she doesn't even know what company she works for. So bizarre. This is such a dim-witted attempt at scamming. It's unbelievable.
So they also do, Sam. They also do stuff like they'll say, "Oh, that's because I'm an agent for multiple companies."
Well, here's the thing. I'm ringing them up now. So I've got a I've got a alias now on Facebook, and I'm ringing these people up and trying to have a conversation with them, which obviously leads to utter devastation and quite a lot of swearing from them. So it's good fun, and of course then other people are reaching out and saying about, oh, I always have a bit of fun with them, yada yada yada. So there are people out there that are ultimately wasting their time, which is a great thing. But obviously being duped by it, there's been a couple where I was like, is this real? Like, especially the ones that are like, oh, I'm an Amazon seller. I'll ship you the thing. You pay this. And then when it arrives, then if you review it, I'll pay you the delivery charge back. And you're looking at it thinking, okay, or order it from Amazon and then they will then refund you the money. And then I'm like, well, you can refund me the money and then I'll then send it back and then I'll get double bubble, right? Is that a scam in a scam? It's like, I don't know. There's a lot of, I'm finding more and more as, none of them are particularly complicated, but I'm just finding more and more as the days go on. It's mad.
Some companies do turn around and say, it's happened to me. I don't do it, but they've said, we'll send you buy the printer, and when you do a review, no matter what the review is, we'll pay you back. We'll send you, we'll PayPal you the money. Now,
I don't do those anymore either.
Do that. It's against Amazon's terms of service, but they do it to get reviews, right?
Vincent wants to show us what he's got going on here. So let me
I'm trying to switch the camera around, but
just turn the camera.
Turn it sideways.
There you go.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's okay. That blinking light is a sensor. It means it's not ready. There's a short, probably a cable short somewhere.
Yeah, if it's printing, don't stop it. Whatever you do, that's a lot of money sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 200 grams of filament already in there.
Yeah, it's already done its first layer with the BL Touch. Don't worry about the red light.
What's the screen saying?
Nothing. It's perfect.
Okay. Then let it finish. Yeah.
Yeah, let it finish no matter what.
I had a broken wire on my Ender 5 Plus. It was on the X-axis. It was just crashing every time. So there's a lot of movement in the wires. So I would just double check. Just run your fingers along the outside of the wire and see if you feel a break.
I tried to let this one finish. I'm home all the time anyway, and then after that we'll take it apart and check everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it was just crashing every time.
So as I said, I replaced the BL Touch because my wires actually broken the ribbon cable. And I went searching for replacement ribbon cables, and they were a pain in the ass to find. So I said, to hell with it, I'll just switch it out with something else. And I actually replaced it with the sensorless touch from TH3D and the capacitance tester, and that's worked perfect ever since.
Yeah, I want to switch out the board from that one to a different.
But if you do change the board,
so much noise.
Well, if you do change the board, it's easy to switch them out. When I changed my board and I went Clipper, and I've never looked back since. So it's been a fantastic change.
People need to understand that the wires are equipped with these printers are not the flexible kind that you have like on CNC machines and everything else. Are meant for that movement all the time. So typically they're going to have like a silicone outside shielding, and they're meant for, they're rated for hundreds of thousands of movements without cracking or breaking.
Yeah.
But when you solve that, like, as you see, the printer prints fantastic. I love.
Yeah, it's running fine so far. So.
I just don't understand with Creality. Someone made a comment on the Elegoo video saying that I don't understand why they haven't updated the Ender 5 Plus. I said, either have I. They still don't even have the silent board in it. They just sell it the way it is. It was a popular printer, and they instead they like have 30 Ender 3 variants out there instead.
Yeah, and it's so reliable as a machine, and it's so sturdy. Like, I don't know why they're not like building on top of that and making.
I mean, honestly, that would be a good clipper machine.
Right? I'd run a clipper on it myself.
Yeah, I think
we got the blue tape guy in the back room. The blue tape guy's here.
I mean, using Reality now 3.5 years. I think the quality.
The
quality control of Reality is really bad.
PT.
Anyone want to do the car shopping for me? I don't want to go out there.
Okay, here's what you do, Tripod. You walk into the dealership, The first guy that attacks you, you look him square in the eye, straight faced, and say, "How much is it going to cost to mount a toilet in the trunk?" They will leave you alone after that.
Oh, my wife. When we went we haven't gone car shopping in probably like 8 years, and she hates it with me because I'm like, I don't want to talk to him. I said, I hate the back and forth crap, and now it's going to be worse because they're all marked up for everything, whether it's used or new. So
everyone's doing that Zoom, and it's cheaper. You're paying less.
I'm feeling better, Kate, but my son came home yesterday and we tested him, and I didn't have COVID, but he does, so he's locked in his bedroom right now.
Sam, I think you need to take the top of that styrofoam and hang it on the wall behind you from that box.
I might do. I mean, I was quite impressed with that. It's not something I've seen before.
I don't even care what's in it. That's the best box ever.
It is.
I'm pretty impressed with that, to be fair. I'll pass that back on to them about that.
I was going to say, you're going to reseal it and do a new unboxing of it?
To be fair, that might be my thumbnail, just that bit of that bit of poly.
Sam, buy googly eyes for it. Stick them in there. And then hang it out on the wall, so I think something good happens. You tap it and the googly eyes will dance.
That would be a pretty cool, you just hang it on the foam behind you.
Yeah, with googly eyes.
Yeah, Liam, tell everybody how you're feeling and what
box top ever.
Tell everybody what's going on in your household, Liam.
Well, I kind of just did with Kate, but I was sick with a bad cold or whatever. Most of it's gone now. I'm feeling much better, but my son came home from school yesterday and with aches and pains like the flu. And the first thing I thought was COVID, so I went out and got the test. And I didn't have to wait the 15 minutes for the test to show positive. It showed positive the moment the fluid touched the line. Being positive, so he is now locked away upstairs in his bedroom, and he's in jail. But he's got his computer to him, so he doesn't care.
But that means you'll be streaming more if you can't say I got to go to a swim meet.
The last swim meet is next Saturday. So if he shows up as negative before he's 16, if he shows up as negative before the end of the week, he'll swim Saturday, the weekend. But the last swim meet is Saturday for the year for his school. Now he'll go back doing club stuff, but that'll be the last swim meet for his school events. And he really wants to do it. So if he's cured, if he's feeling better, he'll swim Saturday.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's normal for kids of his age. It probably is run through a 5-day cycle, and after 5 days they're clear. In most cases, they feel crappy for day 1 and 2, like it's with fever and so on, and then after that it gets better. And that's probably what's going to happen. Is my guess. That's what his doctor says. All the kids his age, that's what's generally happening. So he'll be back to school midweek, and he'll be swimming the end of the week. They've already entered him into heats for next weekend. So
I just uploaded it. Now I can see why everyone does shorts. I just uploaded a short of hitting a cutting board with oil. It's got 1,000 views in less than 30 minutes.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, I just have to do mine in the upright position because everything I film is not like that.
Luckily, I saw it and I did it in square. I recorded it in widescreen, but I just edited it in square, so when I uploaded it, it still showed.
It's amazing how much it deters people if you don't have it in the right format.
Yeah. They won't let you. They won't let you tag it as a short if it's not an upright or square.
That's right.
It's got to be portrait or square to tag
I'll be back
it.
in a minute. I need to go check on my
Or you have enough wording above and below.
Yeah, well, that's what I actually did. I did the video in square, and then I put the words up above it to make it tall.
Yeah, my wife was like, when she watches shorts, she's like, I just don't like them because it doesn't, when she's on TikTok, it doesn't link to another one,
I shouldn't say I hate them. There's a few people like what's her name, Filament Stories or Filament Stories. She does all shorts, she's all shorts, and I don't mind hers because they're informative. You know what I mean? I hate the just stupid ones.
My wife was saying,
I've got red shorts, blue shorts. I don't like tidy whities.
Okay,
You
guys.
got boxer shorts.
Well, see ya.
See you later.
Well, my wife was
Take
like,
care.
why don't you follow this person also? I'm like, because it's the same content that I see on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. It's all the same. So why would I post, watch, especially if I know this person on every social media? So I'll follow them on one platform, and then I'll still see the content.
Well, no, you have to do shorts to get monetized.
No,
Yeah.
you gotta just be
I'm trying to
1,000.
get monetized right now. You have to do shorts to get monetized. If you're already monetized,
What now?
you get to keep
Now
it.
you do?
It
No, you
just
don't.
came up on my thing. It said you have to get 1 million views on shorts to get monetized now.
Oh, so if you're doing probably just shorts. So if you're doing
maybe
regular
If you have a
videos,
short channel, then
yeah.
Tom's
If
got
you're doing
under
regular
Channel that has
videos,
other content, no.
It might be
Tom's
if you're
got
doing
under
just
1,000
shorts.
subscribers, so maybe it's something different. He's not monetized yet.
Yeah, you need that 1,000 subscribers either way.
yeah, and the watch hours.
1 million views in shorts or like 10,000 hour view time or something.
Yeah.
Is
Come
Matt
on,
allowed
Tom,
to
be
talk?
really up
Is Matt allowed to talk on this stream after
I don't
wiping his
know.
butt with the cat?
Just start talking and people will shut up.
After all that animal abuse, the RSPCA has been round his house. That's what I've heard.
No.
Who?
Actually, the cat likes
Liam?
it.
I bet.
Yeah, some people don't like hangouts because they can't get a word in edgewise, and you just have to speak up. Whenever I see it happening, I'll do this. I'll put you in the top left corner and I'll full screen you. When I do that, that tells everybody that's on the little screen, let that person have the floor. So
The only thing they could have done better is made it yellow.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
that would have been
It
cool.
was yellow.
hey, Red Light, how are you, buddy? What's going on?
And circle.
Maybe that'll just be the review where I just get this bit out of the box and talk for 20 minutes about this particular cutout.
That's the best cutout ever.
I would watch that.
Hey, Sam, just do a parody video. See how many views it gets.
I spoke to somebody in the UK. He's not a YouTuber or anything like that. He doesn't do anything on YouTube, but he's very big in the 3D printing world. And he was talking about doing a video. Can we do a video together? Can we do a parody of like trying to level the bed with a blowtorch and, just doing it completely? And I was like, what sort of credibility do you want us to have with this video? Sort of what if? I don't know. Probably not, though. Probably not.
All right.
Well, I've been working on a new song.
Oh, yeah?
I talked to Tim about it this morning.
Oh, I was hoping it'll be about Jerry.
No, well, it's about 3D printing.
Well, then it can be about Jerry.
You know how there's the big move or the big follow now of Miley Cyrus's new song "Flowers."
No.
Everybody heard that?
No.
Sorry, Miley Cyrus is getting out a flower. What do you mean?
No.
She's rolling around in flour. She's rolling around in
rolling
flour.
around in flour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You can buy me flowers. That's part of the song. Well,
Okay.
I've taken that song and I rewrote all the words for 3D printing.
Okay, cool. Right.
So let me read you just the chorus. Let me pull it up here.
It's not on Chat GPT, is it?
No.
Yeah. All right. I got to go, everyone. I got to go to hell, which is car shopping. So you guys have fun.
Get something nice because I don't want to be rolling around with you in some.
You're already designated for the bed of the truck. Okay.
Oh my!
Or the
Right.
trailer.
Okay. Amazing.
So-
Amazing.
You're good. Plenty of leg room.
All right. Thank God for that. Thank God for that.
Congratulations.
I'll email you tomorrow, John, about the
Yeah.
dates and stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Latest. Later, everyone.
See ya. Take care.
Take care. Have a great night. Hey, Sam, if those eyes were closer together, you could put a string on that or an elastic strap and wear that like a mask, maybe, the face.
What, throughout the whole stream? That'd just be
You
me.
could write Michael on the top of it or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the world premiere of the chorus of this song.
Okay.
So it starts out, so I'll print myself flowers and I'll create something new. I'll build printers for hours and make my dreams come true. With every layer, every line, I'm making magic all the time.
Oh, I mean that's top notch. I can see that hitting the charts straight away, and probably changing the dynamic of 3D printing forever. Actually,
you have to sing it for us, Richard. You have to sing it. Come on, you have to do it right. Sing it.
Love that. I love that.
I'm not a singer.
on poetry.
But I will sing it if I do a video on it.
Hey, Corey.
Well, Corey.
Good.
I'm going to see if I can get Tim in to sing some of the chorus with me.
Content.
And make Tim part of the video.
He's
gonna
your
show us
background
some-
singer.
Background dancer.
Yeah, but I think that'd be cool if DeWitt put a clear plexiglass bottom of that instead of a black one. Then when he ever wants to show off a printer, because it's a beautiful printer, he done an awesome job on it. He could just tip it up in and say, guys, check out the electronics. You could have a little webcam sitting on the table so he wouldn't have to tip it too far. And then he wouldn't have to worry about removing the black cover to show everybody all that awesome electronics. So anyway, it's a pretty machine. It looks great.
They just put a warning on Twitter for sensitive content on my link to the YouTube video of me oiling a freaking cutting board.
What?
I'm not kidding you.
Was there any of this in it?
We put a warning on this tweet because it might have sensitive content. It's just 35 seconds of oil on a hard cutting board.
The algorithm seen something it didn't like. Maybe it had something to do with wood.
But it's just oiling, which I have a feeling. But
sounds hot. I saw Mr. Diesel suggesting doing a Prusa guitar. We talked about that last week, didn't we? I think.
Yeah, we did a little bit.
Who's doing that?
I was going to start printing one, but I'm going to wait until I've got the Voron built.
Okay. I noticed there were a couple of other guitars out there, but I'm on the fence about it until... the thing is, guitars... Do you play guitar, Richard?
No, I play drums.
Okay. So guitars staying in tune is a bit of an art form. And I just don't know if a 3D printed guitar is going to be great. But then what do you want for £100, right? Or $100?
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, you're taking plastic and you're making essentially the working portion of a guitar. I mean, that's where all the stress is right on that body. The neck has some stress, but it's all in the body.
And you also have to take into account as well the resonance of the hollowness of your printed part.
Llama, what kind of oil are you using on the cutting board? Jack's wondering.
mineral oil.
Mineral oil? Okay.
Straight up food grade mineral oil.
You mix it with beeswax?
And final coats, yeah. It gets 2 drenchings of just plain mineral oil until it stops soaking it in. And then I start putting beeswax and mineral oil mixed together on it. If you don't drench it in the mineral oil first, when they go to use it, wash it a few times, the beeswax will peel away and the water will absorb it and you'll start getting cracks and crap.
Gotcha.
Because it'll start expanding where the beeswax peels away and it starts soaking into the wood. But if you drench it in mineral oil, it'll never absorb the water. I mean, it eventually will because it's always going to dry out. But
Mr. Diesel, my guitars go on the wall, but I do like to play them as well. I don't know. There's something like the guitars I've got, you can just pick them up and they're already in tune because you've tuned it and they don't go out of tune. You know, there's something about just picking it up and doing it rather than mucking about trying to tune it up and stuff. That was my only thing. I mean, I get it as a fun concept, but there are other ones available. It's not just the Prusa one.
Let me guess, you have at least a Gibson.
I don't have a Gibson. I'd like a Gibson. I don't have a Gibson. No, I have 2 PRS guitars.
Kate, it says no oil. My vape oil is from the Vape Mall. I ordered online. It's strawberry custard, and it's a 6. I vape a 6. I'm not sure what you're asking, but so it has nicotine in it, but not a lot.
Tim, are you still fixing that printer?
Tim, we can't hear you.
Set up here pretty soon. I'm pretty sure of it.
I'm putting a new board in it. I'm putting the single piece PCB back on it because there's an issue going on where it keeps getting temperature spikes.
Are you sure it's not the cable?
I don't know. I'm just, I think it's something in here. But it could be the cable up here. I mean, anyways. I just like taking things apart and soldering shit and putting things back together. So that's why
You look pretty upset, dude.
I'm frustrated with this freaking hot end. I really am.
Can we encourage you with some words like, it's your problem?
Following my motto. Fix it until properly broken, Tim.
That's my plan. I mean, now I gotta redo wires on the fans because they're too short because I had them going to the 2-part PCB. I'm telling you, man, it's a good thing I got my Toonies today. You see, these are now it's really hard to see, but they're black edged Toonies, and what they are for is Canada is releasing them in commemoration of the Queen's death. And so they had the Royal Canadian Mint out at the mall today exchanging Toonie for Toonie.
All right.
So, Tim, when you're not on camera and you're by yourself, do you yell and scream and throw stuff, or are you a calm person?
I'm calm now. I used to. But because I stream and do this stuff live on stream, I've learned to control my emotions. And I've learned that, you know what? Just because something's not working, work at it till it works.
We haven't lived, Tim, until you've cried on stream, I think. I want to hear that there was a bad day and you cried.
You saw him bleed.
Give it time.
You know what gets him through? Tim has a perfect routine when he's not on screen. It's called Zambuca and marijuana.
What popped up in my memories the other day, Tim, is when we built the little baby R2s and your one almost fell off the desk.
Yes, yeah. That was funny. That was funny.
When I printed this for 2.5 days without the cap on it, and I went to the store this morning and I came home and the prime tower that was next to it's laying on the bed. I didn't cuss. I was in a hurry to get nanopolymer and see if I could re-stick it to the bed. Well, that don't work. So I grabbed some. I'm scrambling, trying to find my duct tape, and I re-duct taped the prime tower. That way, when the nozzle went over it, even though it was like a 1/4 inch high, it had something to drop most of it on, so it wouldn't go back to print. And it does have a few flaws because of that. But yeah, that would have been crazy. It took so damn long to print this. It weighs so much filament. When it does filament changes, it's crazy. Plus the prime tower. And I know people say I can adjust the prime tower. I'm not quite sure what I should do, but I have a friend of mine here in town that completely didn't use a prime tower, and he printed some plexis, and he had color bleed from one color to another because he didn't have a prime tower. So
yeah, the prime tower on these is slightly overkill, to be honest with you. And then, of course, the other thing is if you look into the slicing settings, you can bleed that into the infill. But again, if you're using contrast colors like black and white, you'll find that the black will start dirtying the white. So I've tried it a few times, but it all depends on what you're printing. And I think, Bamboo, when I was talking to the other week, earlier on in the week, they were, I was saying, the problem is you don't know who's going to be using these machines. There's such a vast number of people that are printing lots of different things, from miniatures to casting to whatever. There's so much stuff out there. Being able to cater to one particular audience is always, reasonably difficult. But, as I say, for what it is, I think it's pretty good. And I think once you've got things tuned in and you're not experiencing problems with the AMS, I think you're going to have a blast with it.
Well, that's only the slot 1. I'm using 2, 3, and 4. It's working perfect. And the poop chute gets full sometimes, and it warns you, and that's cool. It tells you. So I keep a chopstick right, or actually a skewer. And I open up the door and I take a skewer and I knock it down, and then I resume the print. So that's pretty cool. It's been almost perfect.
You're right, Joe. Jerry has spent a lot of time on stream fondling that bottle. You're right.
Yeah. I can grab a different one and show you.
Right, I'm going to go home. I mean, obviously, I'm not.
Jerry does a little bit too much.
I'm going to shoot now, guys. So I shall see you later on.
All right,
Sam,
Sam.
thank you very much for joining. You have an awesome day. We look forward to seeing all your videos.
No worries, dude. See you later. Cheers. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Here, let's show you this other one here.
Kate, if you're referring to the P1P, yeah, the replacement's supposed to arrive by Tuesday. It's already been shipped.
Jerry's getting ready for a moonshine setup.
And I didn't want to, all these, there was too many of them. I didn't want to do a color change. There's so many of these little places like it was sewn together like it was a leather pouch. But on this one, I went ahead and did them. And it takes a long time for anybody that's got a Bambi knows it takes a really long time for a color change.
Yeah, it does.
And I done these.
A long time to do it.
I done these at 103%. This jug right here, which is I forget what it weighs. It's like I don't know. I don't remember, but it's heavy. This ring spins off, and it's got a plug in the bottom and a cork in the top that you unscrew. You put your beer or whatever in there. Well, I printed this at 100%, and the only thing that will fit in here is the Coors, because Lightspeed drinks Coors evidently, and then you got to cram it in hard. I should have printed this at 103% like the other two, because I've got a bunch of beer bottles you can see on the table behind me, and that's not because I drink much. I went to a local bar and I asked them for empties, and I told them why I needed it, and they gave me 4 bottles. And they said, well, if you come back later today, you can get some more. Well, instead, I just went to Walmart. I bought a couple 12-packs since I didn't have any 6-packs of 2 other bottles that I wanted for the video. Now I got a fridge full of beer that I don't drink much, but I guess
this is Jerry's excuse to start drinking.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I thought I'd do a variety of colors here. So
here's the problem, Jerry. You got 2 of those bottles. Your problem is you got 2 hands and you've only got 1 mouth. That's a drink problem, right?
I'll tell you what this one weighs here. It's pretty interesting. I can see in the dark here. 942 grams. This weighs 942 grams. That's very heavy.
That's a lot of plastic.
Yeah. And the red one here, for instance,
I like that red one.
417 grams. The orange one is 447 grams. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the one and the only, the infamous Zach. Hey. Another
guy. I need your help, Zach.
No.
I'm sorry, but you're going to do it.
Zach, we all say that to Liam.
Yeah, and it still doesn't work.
What's up?
You know the guy's what's his name? He just replied. Tri-Crown. He just replied to me today.
Who?
Tri-Crown, the guy who got Idex working on Clipper.
You're chilly.
Don't know.
He's in France. He's got Clipper working with doing duplication in mirror mode.
Okay, cool.
Here's the one I did from Nico, and I actually don't like it. It screws on backwards, and doesn't have a plug in the bottom. So as soon as Lightspeed's seen this, he's like, well, I can do something different. So he done his version. And this doesn't fit most bottles. It needs to be oversized, but you got to screw it the wrong direction. I hear a train. Somebody have a... That's really loud.
Who's drilling?
Sorry.
It's all right. No, they just said no to me. He just said they're still reworking the code. I was trying to get Clipper in duplication and mirror mode, but they're still reworking the code.
So, War on Tap.
I gotta go because I gotta go figure out dinner. You guys have
a great night, Tom. Thank you.
See you, Tom.
Come on.
War on Tap, but I've trimmed it up to use a optical end stop that I had off my old printer. I was going to do the unclicky version, but my my X-rail on this machine has like a polymer block on the bearing, so it won't work because it's got to be conductive. So what did you need help with, Liam?
Well, he just said they're not going to do it now. He said they're not accepting. He's not sharing the code with anyone till he reworks it. So it's okay. I'm working with a company who's got a big IDEX, and they're running Clipper on it, but they want to get the duplication in mirror mode. But this guy is saying that he's working with what's his name in Connor who runs Clipper,
Yeah.
And they're reworking the code again to do more. So it's not going to be ready for a while.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. It's just they really want to get this machine out, but duplication in mirror mode won't work until they get it done. So that's the bad news that the Clipper guys are reworking the code. They won't be ready.
We're going to be doing a drawing here soon, so if you guys want to enter, bang USA in chat. It'll, like as you can see on the screen, it'll be for roll of Ziltech, PLA, PETG, or ABS. It only ships to the U.S., so if you want to enter and win, you're outside the country. I need the information from somebody in the country to go to, and you have to get a hold of me today or tomorrow within the next 48 hours, because the person that won last week never got a hold of me, and I couldn't track him down, so he forfeited winning that roll last week. It was HC. And
Mike, never let the machine win. How are you, sir?
Because every Monday I get a hold of my rep, and then she mails it out Monday. Hello, Mike. Never let the machines win. Nice to see you. Yeah, you can enter, Mike. Just have it go to somebody in the U.S. that you know. And then if you come visit them, you can pick it up or they can print with it. So, yeah. You know better, Zach.
What?
Hashtag. Sorry, not bang.
You said bang.
That's hashtag. I say a lot of things. I'm almost 59. Yeah, I think Richard's a year older than me, right, Richard?
No, I'm younger than you. I'm 58.
Okay.
Don't go there.
I'm 58 too. June 12th, I'll be 59. And I think Tim's a year older.
Yeah,
Hey.
I'll be 58 in April.
I said don't go there.
What's that song that reminds me of? It's not Somewhere Over the Rainbow. It's Somewhere Over the Hill. That's the song, yeah.
Isn't that a little Irish limerick?
Yeah.
Laugh it up, Space Boy. Laugh it up, Spaceman.
Here's Ziltech's website.
Look, Small's violin playing just for you.
Ziltech.com. They sell extrusion. They've got some 3D printers. They have resin that I don't like. At least I tried it a long time ago. They have a ton of filament. I'm currently using all their filament in my Bamboo Labs, along with some from TH3D. But they have tons and tons of different types of filament. They got big, giant 5 kilogram spools. That's the biggest they sell. Big Texas size spools. I don't really like a 5 kilogram spool. It's too damn big and clunky. And I got one right now in PETG that I need to dry, and it's just really big. But they got a lot of great filament. And that's who we're going to be. They only ship to the U.S. I think they will ship to Canada, depending on the size of the order. I'm pretty sure they do ship to Canada. But since, shipping is expensive, it depends on your order, I'm sure. So let me pull up my wheel.
Is it a wheel?
They're shipped worldwide because I spoke to him last week.
Ziltech does not ship. Ziltech doesn't ship worldwide. No.
You have to pay. You have to pay for shipping. They ship anywhere around the world as long as you pay for shipping.
All right. Well, they have reduced shipping. They don't have free shipping, and I've been told by the rep that they don't ship. They ship to Canada, but they do not ship anywhere else. Even though their company is in China that makes their filament, ships them to them in the U.S. Let me turn off that banner. So hashtag USA in chat. If you want a chance to win, we're going to draw for 2 winners. And let me go ahead in advance, and I'm going to put my email in chat. Let me know what kind of filament, the winner, if you win, let me know what kind of filament you want today or tomorrow. Don't wait till Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. That's not going to work for me. So I can let the rep know and they can send it out. There's my email, jenap1@yahoo.com. I run a group on Facebook, 3D printing and painting, and you can also message me. You can hit me up on Twitter. There's a lot of ways to get a hold of me, and a lot of people out there know me. If you know Non-Fam, which is everywhere, he can get a hold of me instantly. If you know Liam, a lot of these guys, they know how to get a hold of me. So if for some reason you don't know my email, there's a million people out there that know how to get a hold of me immediately to let me know your shipping address and what you want to have sent to you in the USA. And you need to be present to win. So let's go. Let's go for our first winner. We're going to draw 2 winners today. And give me a countdown, Liam.
5, 4, 3, 3.5, 3 1/4, 2, 1, go.
And for our first
Come
winner.
on. I'm going to root for Joe Velasco. Come on, Joe.
Me, me,
No, I
me,
think
me,
the
me,
last
me,
person
me,
who
me,
entered
me,
would be.
me.
I think it was
Brandon.
Brandon.
Congrats, Brandon. Are you still in chat, Brandon? He was just here and he just got in recently. Brandon, are you in chat? Is anybody able to tag Brandon on YouTube?
Let me mute myself.
Count down from 30. If he doesn't respond, move on.
Say
No,
something in
I can't.
chat, Brandon.
I can't.
Oh, got a raid coming in from Free Heathen. Welcome, Raiders. Let me pull that over here real quick. We'll come back to it. Welcome, Raiders. I'm Jerry at 3DHP. We're doing a giveaway, 1 of 2 rolls of filament. If you do hashtag, well, I already closed it. So, anyway.
Brandon responded. He's in chat. He responded.
Okay. Awesome, Brandon. Scroll up a little bit. You see my email, Brandon? jenap1@yahoo.com.
Yahoo.
Write that email down. Go to ziltech.com. Let me know what color and type of filament you want, PLA, PETG, or ABS. Please email me today or tomorrow. Don't wait till next week because we're going to move on past that because the winner last week never got a hold of me, so I'm redrawing for his filament. And let me know what you like with your shipping address. And if you're not in the U.S., then it needs to go to somebody in the U.S. And we do one more here real quick. And we're going to redraw. Okay, for the second roll. Here we go.
Come on, winner.
SBC 3D. SBC 3D, are you in chat? SBC 3D. I'm looking for it in chat.
Congrats. If you're in the chat.
Yes, there he is.
Yes.
Alrighty. Yeah, SBC 3D. My email address. Did you see it on screen or I can repost it? And I think you've won before. But if I can find it, I'll pull it up on screen again. Where in the hell is my email at? Here it is. Okay, for the winners, here's my email. Please write this down, jenap1@yahoo.com. And if you forget it, there's a million ways you can get a hold of me through other people or on social media. I'm on all platforms. Please go to ziltech.com and pick out a roll or filament. Let me know what you want, and we'll get it shipped out to you Monday. Welcome, Raiders. My name is Jerry, 3DHP, and each and every Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific, I stream live on YouTube and Twitch, and I have up to 10 people at a time on camera, makers from around the world. Thank you, Free Heathen, for the raid. I hope you had a great stream, my friend. And 3 out of 4 weeks out of the month, Ziltech allows me to give away a roll of filament. I don't get anything from Ziltech for doing that. I do it because it helps draw people into the stream, and you get free stuff. So that's cool, right? Everybody likes to win. And if you have any questions in chat, please post them. I will share out a link if you'd like to drop in on camera and talk about what you're 3D printing. We talk about resin printers. We talk about lasers. We talk about 3D printing, 3D printers, painting, a little bit of anything and everything. We talk about cookies and we talk about space. So we got a little bit of everything here, and I stream anywhere from 2 to 4 hours every Saturday. And I guess that's about all I can think to say. So SPC 3D. Gifted to Llama. Okay, if Tom's not watching, I will email him and find out what he wants. We'll get that. Thank you very much, SPC 3D. I'll let Tom know. Or I'll message him in just a minute.
Who's your emails?
Thank you very much.
No, but he posted it up there, Joe. If you scroll back, you'll see it.
What?
Your email address.
Here, I'll retype it. Here's my email, Joe. Just let me know what type of filament, and if they have it in stock, we'll ship it out. If it's something they don't have, they'll let me know. Then I'll email you back and let you know to pick something different.
So what else is everybody up to?
I'm not sure if my email's down there below the screen or not. It's probably is in contacts if you contact the person. Because all YouTubers or content creators, you can hit contact, but I don't know if it's readily posted. I'm not sure. But if it's not, I'll make sure that it is in the future. Yeah, Joe won recently. I remember when that was.
So, Zach, what else are you working on?
Right now it's just getting tap put on these machines. And then I've got a couple things, a couple big projects I want to print. Well, basically what I'm working on is trying to get as many of my machines as possible to tinker-free status, where I can just throw a slice print at it and walk away.
All right.
That's my goal.
So, Jack, yeah, diode laser engraving on leather, laser engraving leather in general, it stinks. Nasty smell.
Yeah, you need a good exhaust system for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or do it outside. When I do mine. If I'm doing any leather stuff, I'll put it out on my deck in the back, and when the weather's clear, and just engrave it out there, because then I don't care about smell because it's outside the house.
So, Liam, have you played any of the new KSP?
Yep.
Right?
I did.
I never played the old one, but I bought the new one today.
I haven't. No, I haven't had time. I'm not a big gamer, and I'm not, like I like KSP to show, like, when I'm demonstrating stuff, how rockets are like how about orbital insertions and stuff.
All right, Brandon, let me check that.
But I spend more of my time with Universe Sandbox than anything else.
I can see that.
Yeah. Because with Universe Sandbox, I can show the effects of tidal changes or planet size changes and orbit changes and all this kind of stuff. So that's why I like Universe Sandbox over KSP.
Hey, Brandon, is your last name your email name backwards? Because I don't see a first and last name. I just have your address. And you didn't tell me what type of filament you wanted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's CO2. The CO2 would do a really fast job of it, but either what they both stink. So yeah.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, we just had to give away a couple rolls of filament. I'm just checking things on other screens. Welcome in, everyone. Mr. Diesel, hello. You have a great day. Thank you for joining in. I really appreciate it. Have a great night.
So here's something neat I did today. I just thought
Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
Thought I'd show off. Let me see if I can. So I had these. I had this dual fan Voron tool head on an old printer, and it required, if you built a stealth burner, you know how you have to chop up a 50-15 to make it work, right? So what I did was the butchering of the fans for the dual fan tool head was a lot more than just on a regular stealth burner. Let me show you what the fan looks like in its butchered state.
All right, okay.
Well, in order to restore it to where I could use it in a stealth burner, I took a model of the fan dropped a hole and a slot in it for the wires, and lowered the surface of it. Sanded down what was left of the original chassis to as close of a perfect circle as I could. Measured that, and that's how big I made the ring, like indention, and stuck it in there and glued it in place. So I basically re-3D printed, or rebuilt with 3D printing the case of the fan. See, that's what the slot looks like.
I think I broke the game again.
I'm going to show a picture real quick, Zach. Hold on. Kate, here's a K40. That's a small CO2 laser. They're $400 to $500. Liam has one like it. The work area is basically 8 inches by 12 inches. I have a bucket of water underneath it with a pump, and then I have to exhaust outside of the building when using it. But a CO2 will pretty much cut just about anything you can think of, as where a diode laser is great for doing pictures and light engravings, not deep burns, but for cutting plexiglass or things you want done very fast. The CO2 is perfect. And once Zach gets done here, Liam can explain more.
So yeah, look, that's the replacement.
Perfect. Nice.
Yeah, it worked out good. I just found a model of a 5015 from GrabCAD, and went from there.
Sweet.
Okay, Mr. Liam, you have anything you want to add about a CO2?
Yeah. Okay. So a CO2 passes high voltage electricity through a gas, being being carbon dioxide. It's about 20% carbon dioxide in there, in the tube. The tube needs to be water cooled, so it's not like a diode laser you can set on a table and plug it in and just go. There's a big glass tube down the back of that, on the back of that printer or that laser, and the electricity is bounced through it, hits a mirror, bounces back, and then that's how it actually energizes the laser. And then it's bounced around inside the case to its destination via a series of mirrors. A diode laser operates at 455 nanometers, which is the light frequency, which is in the visible spectrum of light. The CO2 operates at 10,500 nanometers, which is way beyond what we can see, a way higher frequency of light than we can see, and the output is way more. So if you have a 40-watt diode and if you could get to a 40-watt in the diode and a 40-watt in CO2, they're still not even close to each other. The CO2 would beat it every time because the power output is way higher. Because it operates at 10,500 nanometers, it can cut clear materials because diode laser cannot.
And you can't see the laser
in the visible spectrum and can pass through clear materials. But because of the frequency it's in the ultraviolet frequency, it would actually ablate or cut transparent materials, like acrylic and so on, which you cannot do with a CO2 or with a diode laser.
Yeah, Bryce, below my name, it stands for 3D Hobby Projects. That's what 3DHP is. Thank you, Liam.
I can go way more nerdy, but I won't go there.
And then Nick, that was on there earlier from Blvd, he's got a huge diode laser. It's a monster. It's like 100 watt. It's very large. He can do, 2 foot by 3 foot, he said, something like that?
2 by 4.
Okay.
Yeah, my makerspace has a 150 watt that is 3 by 4. It's a meter by 1.6 meters.
Yeah, Jack in the Shop, check him out on YouTube. He dropped in last week and was showing some of the stuff he was doing with, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, with his fiber laser. Do I have that credit card paid off? No, I don't. Now he's talking about the credit card for the bamboo, and I
know. It just came across this
like $800 on it, that card.
You're halfway there, though.
Yeah, I've sold enough stuff to pay it off, but because I have all these other bills and medical bills and everything, a lot of that money is paying off other things and buying groceries, and I can't keep dumping it on the one card. But I got like $500 in donations.
I got a nice tax return coming this year, and it's all going to credit card bills.
Well, yeah, a bit of you can cut acrylic with infrared because infrared is heat, right? You're actually creating a beam of heat.
Hey,
with
Bill
infrared.
Leverbot.
Whereas ultraviolet is a lot higher frequency laser.
Yeah, my diodes can cut color to clear it. They can't cut clear. It cannot do clear. You got to go to a CO2 for clear.
So like different color light is the same thing. It's all light. It's all photons. The only different things that changes is the frequency. Like a radio wave is light, but at a different frequency.
I'll be right back.
It's all part of the electromagnetic spectrum, right? So it's all photons. It all travels at the same speed, the speed of light, right? The only thing that changes is the frequency. So a red light is a low frequency, a blue light is a high frequency, and a green light is somewhere in between, right? So that's the only thing that changes is the frequency of the pulse of light. Is that nerdy enough for you? I could talk hours about the electromagnetic spectrum. I won't go there, but I can. OBS bot cam? What's that?
That's the camera that I use for my overhead.
Oh, okay. Actually, I need to rig up an overhead camera for tomorrow because I'm going to start working on that Ori. And to do the Ori, I want a camera overhead showing what I'm doing.
Tim, are you going to come be on my stream tomorrow?
Am I going to come and be on your stream tomorrow? I don't know. I have to see what time Maria's working.
The invite's
Maybe.
open if you want to come for 2 o'clock.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'll see if she's home from work. Yeah.
About time you came over and were on my stream.
I am not gonna sing.
Please?
Well, don't tell him and ask him on camera and enforce him his hand.
Liam,
Just remember, Tim, I can print you some flowers.
Oh God.
Well, see.
Liam, I used to like you.
That's okay. That's okay. I don't mind.
That's how you get banned and deleted.
See, hey, Tim, there's a long list of people in my life that can actually say the same statement.
Shadell says, don't let him sing.
No, thank you, Shadell.
Don't let Tim sing or don't let me sing. You don't want me to sing.
You definitely don't want me to sing because I put the crows out of business.
I'll make your ears bleed.
You don't bring me
So if you want to empty a room really quickly, have me sing. I think bang, everyone leave.
anymore.
Well, we can get into a little needle diamond tomorrow if you want.
I think my vocal range is actually listed as a in the Geneva Convention as a too cruel a weapon to use on anybody.
Built over bot says, why do you want to lose subscribers, Richard?
Screens will break, glasses will shatter. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I just got back and we got a guy in the back room here banging the table and jumping up and down. And his bird is squawking. It's Rob Mink, everybody.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Rob, how are you doing?
I'm doing so much better. Every week is better for me. Yeah.
The baby belt guy, the creator.
I want my baby belt, baby belt, baby belt. I want my baby belt, baby belt. Sorry, couldn't resist.
Baby back ribs. Oh, no, that's a different commercial.
Yeah,
I've only had one beer. So I
to Baby Bell. The cheese.
I want my baby belt printer. I want my baby belt printer. I want my baby belt printer.
Liam, that was funny. When I first started like seeing what people were saying and stuff like that, and I'd put baby belt in, Baby Bell cheese always popped up at first.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was interesting. That and something about like anti-cult thing about somebody forcing to do harm to their kids. So that was weird. But that's not first results anymore, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
So I'm actually opening a box here, that was sent to me.
Congratulations, you finally managed to open the box. Congratulations.
I know, right?
After
I was
15
switching
months.
my beaver earlier.
That was sent to me from China. From Naomi Wu.
Oh, Naomi, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Neat.
She's
It's
she
a-
sent many of them actually. I thought she was going to send one.
It's a baby Creality belt. No.
It is. It's the
Joe,
blue belts that like
Everybody,
got.
Joe,
Oh.
thank you. Joe sent me $25 via PayPal. Thank you, Joe. I'll put it on my credit card bill. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you.
So they're little belts for your baby belts?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, very
Oh.
cool.
Did she find a company to make them for you, to make them over there?
I don't know how she's doing it or what's going on, but it's yeah.
Are they soft enough?
They might be. They're a little thicker than the previous one she sent me. The previous batch.
Nice.
There's 2 of them here.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
If you're in direct contact with Naomi Wu, why don't you invite her to the live stream sometime? She knows who I am. But that'd be cool if she came on camera.
That actually would be awesome. I have never video chatted with him, just text chatted with her, and her, not him, you know. And it would be, I would actually really enjoy that.
Her English is fantastic. So.
She really is a fantastic person.
I've never sent her an invite link, but she knows that I exist. So.
Yeah. This is the last one she sent me, which I had to modify the printer for a little bit because it wasn't exactly, but you know, so we're going from black to blue now. Cool.
Very
Jerry,
cool.
she may not want to come hang out with all us old bearded guys.
You never know.
Liam doesn't have a beard, nor does Matt.
I can't help it that I'm getting old.
can grow one.
There's a difference between me and Matt. I can grow one, Matt can't.
Hey, no need to cast shade.
Wow.
Wow. I'm looking homeless at this point. I need to take a shower, and I've been like working on cars and renovating the bathroom today.
You look homeless.
Are you looking homeless? I'm looking homeless. But look how long this hair is.
Yeah, my hair is way longer than it should be. And
Well, I'll tell you what, Tim, if you go over to his house tomorrow, bring your shears and buzz cut him.
whose
That'll
house?
be an interesting live stream.
That
Do
would
I have
be
to wear my white lab coat?
That would even be funnier if you did.
That actually would be pretty funny.
Where's your bird? I don't hear her squawking today.
He's here. He's right there. He's in the back of the cage right now. He's
Okay.
You ate him.
Oh,
No,
Zach, see what Corey said about you?
Zach is a hillbilly, I think.
Yeah.
I've always thought he was a
Technically,
hillbilly.
I'm really more redneck than hillbilly.
Yeah.
All right.
Zach, when are you gonna come visit?
When
That
I'm
was
not
middle.
busy,
Never.
That's definitely a
How
redneck
far apart
response.
are you guys? How far apart do you live apart?
About 2
hour
hours.
and a half.
Yeah, hour and a half, 2
Okay.
hours, somewhere around there.
It's 2 hours for everyone else. It's an hour and a half the way Zach drives.
Maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
tell Zach you'll take him out for some barbecue, Rob, and I'm sure he'll come over.
That would imply there's a barbecue place where I live.
Okay.
I live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. See, there would be a lot more to do if he came and visited me.
That's true. That's true. And
Hey,
I do go down to Newport.
Richard, Joe Velasquez says you're a hippie.
I know.
So
I do go
he's
down
gonna-
to
while,
Newport.
while Richard is doing this, since he's doing the guitar, he's going to let his hair grow longer and then he do his ZZ Top impression. For anyone under the age of 30 or 35 who do not know who ZZ Top is, go look it up on YouTube.
I'm 35 and I know who ZZ Top is.
There's not, yeah, a lot of people don't know who ZZ Top are. It's shameful what they don't.
Here's a link. If anybody like to drop in, you're welcome to do so.
So basically, what you're saying, Liam, is that we're all sharp-dressed men.
Ooh, I like the way you use the words, the lines of the song. Nice one.
Kate wants to know where you're located, Rob.
Virginia, just where the Chesapeake hits the Potomac.
Rob, come to Canada. We're all over the place.
I don't like cold.
Canada looks like a great country, but if you order off Amazon or order anything, you get screwed by their tariffs.
You got that right.
So that's the only thing I wouldn't like about Canada is that you can't afford to buy nothing. It's too expensive.
Well, if you go through Amazon Canada, which means you don't get everything that's on Amazon US, you do pay through the nose for some of that stuff.
Well, here it is. Canada is a great country. It's a bit like Michigan. It's really fantastic if you could have a roof over it, right? It's really great if you could roof it.
So what you're saying, Liam, is that we should all move to the US?
I didn't say that. We live in houses. You live in houses. Yeah, off you go. Stay in your house.
I would actually. All right, never mind. I'm not going to say anything because there's no politics. But yeah.
I just.
Yeah, we're getting dangerously close to bringing that topic.
Yeah. I'm backing off.
That's okay. I brought up MTG already in this stream once.
Well, speaking of Canada, it was cold here today. It was like sleety and rainy and stuff.
80?
Huh? What?
You said 80?
Sleet.
Oh, I said 80 and raining.
No. It was fairly cold. Thursday I rode my motorcycle and got into the 80s. But today we had sleet and a little bit of ice. And I was out driving my pickup truck, probably a little faster than I should have. And I went like 45 degrees around a corner. It was fun.
At least you controlled it.
Oh, I did. I was going
That's
62.
fun.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get cold enough for ice here, but it was not warm.
We had an ice storm 2 days ago. That actually, like from 2 days ago over into yesterday, and everything was frozen over. Right? I mean, literally, everything looked like it was encased in acrylic.
That's
even
beautiful.
the car.
Yeah.
Right?
Liam, do you want to tell them how cold it was here, or should I?
I'm
Go
sure
for
it's
it.
colder up there, but and then we woke
They
up this
don't know
morning to
cold.
snow.
With the wind chill for the past few days, it has been minus 39 to minus 42.
I've been there. We get that here.
Ouch.
We didn't even get to plus 42 today. Like we were where I'm at, we were above plus 42 all day.
Oh wow.
And you're at friggin' negative 42. Are you talking about Celsius or Fahrenheit?
I'm talking
Celsius.
Celsius.
Here,
But they mean
Oh,
it minus
even
40.
worse.
Jerry,
Yeah.
make me full screen.
I'm looking for you. Oh, you're in the middle. Okay. There he is.
Oh wow.
I love
Ice
that
storm.
stuff.
Oh, that's a
Everything's
Sunday for
encased
us.
in ice.
Yeah.
Where are you at,
Freezing ice.
Richard? You're in. Kate's wondering where you're located, Richard.
I'm in Calgary, but I grew up in a town called Thompson, which is north of the 53rd parallel, where we had 2 seasons, winter and not winter. And not winter was black flies and mosquitoes for about 4 months.
I used
Talk about
to.
the lakes and the pond and around you and stuff. Yeah.
I'm a military brat, and my dad flew the very small planes, so we got stationed up in the northern tip of Maine for I think it was I forget which base it was. It's closed now. It was a B-52 base. You know, Cold War, Russia. You know, and we had 2 seasons. You can't go outside because the kids will go up and grab the power lines because snowdrifts are so high, and road repair.
Oh wow.
Oh
Yeah.
well.
Bangor, yes, Bangor. Kate, you got it.
Well, we have similar here in Michigan. In Michigan, you know it's springtime in Michigan when the state flower comes out. All those orange and white barrels along the side of the road. That's the Michigan state flower.
Hey, I got you one. I'm from Alabama. Alabama, you know what the state bird of Alabama is? Trampoline. Because a lot of people don't realize that you associate like the Great Plains area with tornadoes, but Alabama, something about where it's at is terrible for tornadoes. So you end up with really, really bad tornado problem. And
So for all of our U.S. people, this is what it looks like underneath our igloos.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, it's 59 in Fahrenheit, cloudy here in Vegas.
It's 32 here today.
Tim
Been
doesn't
warm, it's
have
been
quite
a
the
while.
same insulation underground that I do. That's why he's wearing a heavy sweater.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
We'll
I
be
have.
just going out on
we
the
don't get
thunder
as
to kill
cold
our
as long.
supper.
Yeah, we don't get as cold as long as you do, but we do get cold like you do, like you guys do.
Well, here where we are, it's the weather is so strange because you can wait 5 minutes and it'll change because of where we are on the other side of the foothills of the mountains, the Rocky Mountains. Where we are, we get what's called Chinooks, and that's the warm air coming over the mountains. And our winters, in all honesty, can be quite pleasant. And then those cold snaps will come, like we're in right now. And I mean, they will just be horrendous. You don't even want to go outside. I went and shoveled the other day. I came in and my whole face was frozen. My wife looked at me and she says, it looked like we were back in Manitoba.
Jerry, I have parts to the newest version of Baby Belt, which is an alpha here. Are you curious in me showing you what's going on with it?
We would love to see it. Everybody would love to see it.
Alrighty.
And everybody here, like I always mention, you're welcome to self-promote anything you want to self-promote, your channels, your groups, whatever you like.
Well, thanks. Well, so to do some comparison here, here is the current published Baby Belt. Baby Belt is different from Power Belt. Yes, this is a Baby Belt. It's smaller, totally open source. It uses PTFE bushings for the linear bearings. It's like $100 to make. Seriously, you can make one of these for $100. And it's got some unique features. The newest version has a power jack. You can just plug a 24-volt or laptop power cord into. So you don't even have to buy a special power cord. You can load it up. It doesn't have a screen, but you can load it up with an SD card button and push a button, and it'll just start whatever's on the card. So a couple things that are new is belt tensioning was done, with just pulling the belt tight and zip ties and stuff like that. So one of my community members made a new end stop for it that not end stop, but pulley holder that is adjustable with a screw here. And it's all 3D printed except for the bearing in here. So it actually, in some ways, eliminates hardware costs. I didn't like the way that it was the underbed support here. I don't know if you can see it because it's black on black, but it holds the belt up.
Yeah.
It needed springs, and it was kind of hokey to put in and out. So this is the current iteration. Also, it uses screws to tension this yellow part here, which holds the belt back. Additionally, one more thing that was people weren't liking is it uses a 7-inch bolt all the way through for each rollers, and those you can't get at a hardware store. So, with the exception of the belt material, the
Can't you cut down a piece of all thread and weld a head on if you need it?
Oh, you don't even need to weld a head on, because the way it's made is that when it spins the bed, it tightens the other side.
Okay.
So no welding is needed or anything. Even if you did that, you could just use a piece of all thread. But and the extruder built into the side, I didn't like it. So this is a pretty big change coming out here. It's here we go. Here is a just zip tied frame pieces, which is the way you assemble. You just zip tie it together. But this is the underbed support here, and it goes in like that and just rests in. It's going to have screws underneath that you just spin the screws up and down to adjust the underbed so you can level the bed. And then this roller here. Oh, good for you. That's cool.
Congrats.
Yeah. This roller here has channels that you drop the nuts into, so you don't have to use a bolt going all the way through. I just use like 2 M8 or 5/16 inch bolts. Just drop them in, and they have caps over the 608s. So now instead of getting crazy with an Allen key, you just drop the roller in, and I'll pick it up in a second. Drop the roller in, put those caps on, and gotta put them on real quick, sorry. Caps on, and then it's kind of hard to see because it's orange on orange, but it has little teeth and a little cam here, and you just spin it, and that pulls the roller back, so that you can literally pull the belt out of this because the front roller, the driven roller, is driven from worm gear in here, and this roller just fits in like that. So when you want to remove the belt, all you have to do is just take those caps off or uncam them, they'll fit through, and lift the back up here, and it comes up through that channel. Pull the underbed support out right here, and then you just pull the front roller off and the whole belt comes out.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the printable width is about 100 millimeters, or almost exactly 100 millimeters, like 102 or 103. And we did it that way, or I designed it that way, so that you could use 150 inch or 150 millimeter smooth rod, which is easily bought and available at most hobby stores and online. Probably the hardest part to source for this at this point would be the 4mm OD 3mm ID PTFE tubing that's used for the linear bearings, or maybe the power jack, which is available on Amazon. And it just fits like a Toshiba laptop power cord, and that powers it.
What board do you use in those again? What's the main board?
It's a Big Tree Tech SKR E3 V3. This guy right here. Yeah, because it's
most expensive part of the whole machine, isn't it?
It is 100% most expensive part of the whole machine. It's because it supports centralist homing, and it's a pretty good board, and it's available. Oh, thanks, Jerry, for linking me.
Yep. There's his channel in chat, guys. His YouTube channel.
Yeah. It's all available through like a Radio Shack analogy, since Radio Shack's closed, and normal 3D printing sources. I was gonna say something. Oh, the belt is cotton fabric and nylon, or not nylon, but like iron-on material. So you just measure the cotton fabric out and the iron-on stuff out, and just iron it together, and there you go. We were using construction paper and carpet tape, and I apologize for the fabric on here. I wasn't thinking when I bought it, but yeah, this was not as strong and not as good material as the iron-on stuff. So.
Hey guys, I'm gonna run. Jerry, you have a good rest of the stream.
Thank you very much, Richard. What time are you streaming? Where can people find you at?
Well, they can find me at the First Layer tomorrow here on YouTube at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern. And I will be here tomorrow. We are talking about getting out those tangles in your filaments. That's going to be the main topic. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, come on, join me.
Now I understand why. Now I understand why Tim might be under.
Yeah. Stop it. Well, thank you very much for joining, my friends, and I'll be sure to tune in tomorrow and watch you.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a good night.
Sorry to word you out, Richard.
Sorry, Tim. Low-hanging fruit. I couldn't resist.
It's okay.
So they're putting a micro center in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Ooh, that was loud.
Good. Which is a smaller place than where I'm at, Hampton Roads, Virginia. There are way more people in Hampton Roads, Virginia than there are Charlotte, North Carolina. And we don't have a micro center.
They used to have a Fry's here in Vegas that closed down across town, but they should open up a micro center if they don't have one.
Zach, aren't I closer to the nearest micro center than you are?
Way closer.
Yeah, because it's that.
There's like 3 in D.C.
3? I thought there was just 1 in Fairfax County.
Well, go ahead, Tim. We're watching now. We can see smoke coming off your tongue. Come on.
Don't lick the soldering iron.
No, I think there's. I could be wrong, but I think there is like 1 or 2 there, or 2 or 3 there.
I thought there was 1 in Fairfax County on Nutley Road, and 1 up in Maryland.
Well, yeah, but I mean D.C. metro area.
The nearest one to me is 45 minutes away.
About a year ago, Tim, I done something really, really stupid. And I don't know why I did this other than I can blame it on my age. And I told guys this. I nuked some hot dogs. And then I took them out of the microwave. I stuck it on a fork. And I put it over my gas stove on the burner. So I wanted to char the hot dog. Well, as soon as I pulled the hot dog off in the bun, there was leftover meat, as you know, on the fork. What did I do? I stuck the damn thing in my mouth to pull it off, and I singed my tongue. It hurt like hell. And I don't know why I did that. I know better. It was red hot, and I know it, but for some reason, there's hot dog left on the fork. Let's put it in your mouth and pull it off. I can't believe I did that. It's terrible.
I have almost, with this hot soldering iron, when I'm doing something small, I like to use my finger to steady, to steady something. And I've almost many times stuck my finger on this part of the iron to steady it. And yeah.
So 3D print help. The Hampton Roads area has 1.73 million people.
Oh, they've
So we've got 1 million more than you do.
Wow.
And
they don't have a micro center yet.
Yeah. And the beautiful Northern Neck, I think we have 50,000 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I cannot get to the nearest gas station without passing several miles of farm field.
Those of you that are joining in late, we already gave away the 2 rolls of filament for today. So,
yeah, I mean, Hampton Roads area of Virginia is huge, man. It's you got to think we have the world's largest naval installation. We've got, I mean, more than a dozen military bases.
That's it. I'm out. Yeah.
From every branch.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Chris knows what Norfolk's like. I would say probably 10% or better of the population here is military.
Wow.
I mean, most of it's Navy, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah.
Well, not necessarily. I would say a lot of it is Navy, but JBLE's kind of a big deal. Langley.
Corey, Matt's sleeping with his eyes open. He is here, but he's asleep.
No, I'm here.
I was gonna say, you okay, Matt? You look.
Yeah, I think it is.
No, I'm fixated in the game.
Oh, what are you playing?
Kerbal Space Program 2.
Like Zolan, right?
So yeah, listen to this. This is I'm gonna rattle off the Navy bases I know of. There's Yorktown Naval Weapons. That's the only one on the peninsula. And then there's Naval Station Norfolk. There's Little Creek, Dam Neck, a Naval Air Station, Oceana. I think there's like 2 more I'm not thinking of. So there's like 7 or 8 naval installations here.
I live right next door to Nellis Air Force Base here in Las Vegas. And jets fly over my house daily.
Wow. Here's something hilarious about where I live. Langley, which is the closest military base gate to my house is 2 turns. And you can be at the gate going into Langley Air Force Base. When I lived in Florida, the last place I lived in Panama City before Hurricane Michael sent us on a moving trip, it was the same deal. 2 turns and you could be on Tyndall Air Force Base. Well, the big draw at Tyndall Air Force Base was that's where the Raptor School was. That's where you went to learn to fly F-22s. Well, we had the big hurricane, and it messed up that base. It, dead center hit the base. We moved around a bunch, moved up here to Hampton, Virginia, where Langley is. Shortly after we moved here, they announced, hey, we're moving the Raptor School to Langley. So the F-22 school moved from, we're half the distance to the flight line now as we were back then. And back then, you'd hear jets all the time flying over.
Jerry, is that off the bamboo with the AMS?
Yes.
That is beautiful.
This is like a 2.5-day print, and I went to the store this morning. It had a purge tower next to it, and it fell over. And I came home like, oh my God. So I tried to glue it back down, which wouldn't stick, obviously. So I got some duct tape, and I duct taped the purge tower down. Because in my time lapse I showed earlier, it started stringing up here at the top neck. Right here where it goes up straight, you can see where it looks damaged. It's got a little bit of damage there from all the film that was kind of going nuts. But yeah, it's a lot of purge. A ton of purge here. These are from Lightspeed's Patreon. He gave me all 3 files. And I'm going to do a video coming out tomorrow. I got to finish taping it tonight. And I sized it up to 103%. So any bottle I have, I got like 8 different types of beer bottles that'll fit in here with a plug in the bottom. And then, you're drinking out of this.
That's super
for
cool.
a decoration. But yeah, great, came out great. And as far as for the multicolor material, other than it wastes a lot of filament when it changes, it's beautiful. I mean, I couldn't paint it that nice. I mean, it came out perfect.
Jerry,
It really did.
weigh all the material that came out of it.
Some of it I've already thrown out, but yeah, I need to start doing it. That way I have a good estimation. Rather than seeing a bunch of little tiny poop balls, I can weigh it and say, well, that's only about this much filament. But yeah, I need to do that.
No, Zach, I'm also in the flight training area for A10s.
It's the worst thing to be in the flight training area for.
Well,
Out of every plane that we have, that is the worst because it's all low altitude, and those things are wow.
There used to be a lot of warthogs here in Vegas. I see them fly over all the time.
Thankfully, they're not shooting the fuselage, the main gun. But that's actually a lot of fun because you can be driving around and you'll just see formation of 2 or 3 A10s just go zipping along.
And so the place we stopped between Panama City and here was Jacksonville. And the first place we lived in Jacksonville, NAS Jacksonville has a like an extra couple of runways northeast of Jacksonville or northwest. We lived like just right through the woods from them. I was sitting at the computer one day playing games, talking to my friends. I heard a jet sound that just wouldn't go away. I go outside, and there's they had these little trainer jets. They called them basically a jet engine with 2 seats strapped to the top. And it was just doing laps for a solid 45 minutes, just doing laps. I'm assuming dumping fuel. Then when we moved over further into Jacksonville, we were just through the woods from the actual base. And I don't know if you heard a story, but there was a passenger jet that ran off the end of the runway in Jacksonville that went off into the river and had to be like scrapped and people rescued off of. There was a storm, just like a weird little cell that popped up out of nowhere that caused all that. But we'd hear, because I mean, if you were approaching from the west onto their runway, I'm assuming that would be, what runway was it?
That's really cool, Jerry.
Runway 9 at NAS Jacksonville. It would have been runway 9. You went straight over our house, like,
wow,
tires dragging, antennas kind of shit.
I'll see you guys later. I say good night.
Have a great night, Matt. Thanks for joining. Get lots of rest, and we'll see you next time.
See you, Matt.
Bye.
I showed you guys. Let me show you the picture real quick. I need your opinion. Okay, I'm going to modify this thumbnail, but what if I took my purple head here with the eyeballs and threw that in the picture just for the hell of it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And then during my video, I can just have it sit on the table, even though I'm not talking about it. That way, it kind of ties to the thumbnail. Okay.
Absolutely, that'd be cool.
This one here.
So, Mad Cat, I used to work when I was in Jacksonville. I worked at Cecil Airfield. It was a multi-use airport when I was there, but it used to be an airbase. But I was a CAD drafter, so I sat in an office and worked on a computer all day long. But our building was on the flight line, like right at the point in the flight line where they would do touch and goes with Blackhawks. They were doing like laps with Blackhawks. They'd go around and they'd set it down, bounce the tires off, and go up just all day long. And then anything that stopped in for refueling it was right outside of our building, man. There would be days where you would have like 3 guys in 18 sitting out there with the engines idling, waiting to be refueled. And walking around work, all you could hear is just the sound of a jet engine. You go outside for a smoke and you're like yelling at the guy next to you.
Hey, Twitch people, we had the drop game going the whole time, and no one's used the drop game. And YouTube, this is a Twitch thing that people can do on Twitch. They can do a bang drop and chat and drop different things.
Yeah, I feel your pain, Mad Cat. I know what that's like. It's terrible. That was a fun airport though, man, because you'd have guys in like, you'd have. So we had a company there that did aircraft maintenance and painting and stuff. So you'd see a FedEx 747 land, and then you'd see a guy in a Cessna just like barely moving down the runway. And then you'd see, a couple of 18s land, and it's just like, I feel for the guy in the Cessna. He's got to feel like he's on a tricycle in the middle of an interstate.
Well, thankfully, I'm far enough away from any airports or anything, but still within the practice area that the jets only fly by during the day when they're training. We don't hear the takeoff or landing stuff, and where it's a slow enough population area that if they see you watching them, they'll just hot dog around you for like 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Because they're bored 18-year-old or bored early 20-year-olds, and they just want to get out and get their flight line stuff. But speaking of the touch and goes, my dad, like I said, flew B-52s, and I have a picture of him somewhere. Well, not him, the plane he was in piloting, doing a touch and go on the rear wheels of the B-52 down the runway.
That's got to be cool.
Yeah, I was horrified at that air show where I think it was a P-51 that cut that B-7.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That was horrible.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. They're too low to the ground. There's no way out of that. That's so sad.
There's another spot where you can go here and look across the bay at Naval Station Norfolk, and they fly Ospreys, and that is cool as hell.
They're really dangerous.
Seeing those things do VTOL shit is just like, wow, man, that's so cool that you could actually just like go out here and get lucky and watch and see them take off in there.
Yeah, Kate, he also flew C-5s and C-131s.
What was it, a C-130 about 10 years ago when Afghanistan was taking off and his load shifted and the whole plane just went straight down backwards into the ground?
It just stalled and just...
That was crazy.
I watched a video about that not long ago. The guys loading it did not... Basically, the guys loading it were just like, eyeballing it on the straps and used just a fraction of the amount of straps they needed to for all the stuff that they had in it. And they were taking off, the straps broke, and everything went back. It basically shredded the airplane before it even hit the ground.
Yeah. So sad.
It was so tail heavy that it just couldn't.
It'd go nose up immediately. Yeah, gravity would pull it all backwards. Yeah.
And you can't do anything. You just stall and fall out of the
sky.
And
I noticed that a lot of people on YouTube are posting airplane videos, and they're getting a lot of views, but they're games. They're different planes and games doing different things. They're not real, but they're getting a ton of views, and it's not even real.
Yeah, and a lot of them saying the Ukraine stuff, and it does not.
I've seen a few from Ukraine that were real, but most of them aren't. Keep watching it, and you'll realize that you're watching a game. It's not real.
A lot of that is like there's a bunch of there's one in particular I'm thinking of.
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Like explanations of like wrecks and mishaps and stuff with airplanes, and he reenacts it all in a flight sim.
Okay.
And all of that looks like video game. It's pretty clear that it's video game, but it's like this is demonstrating what actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2022 and 2023 or 2021, 22 look pretty realistic to the casual observer. Yeah. Okay,
they're getting so close to being real that it's hard to tell sometimes.
Kate, I've jumped out of a Cessna twice in 1988, and I broke my foot on my second jump, and I got a steel plate and 8 screws in my ankle. And why did I skydive? Because I'm afraid of heights. That's why I jumped out of a plane twice. But once I got out and the chute was open, it was a blast all the way to the ground. I loved the hell out of it. But I am afraid of heights. I worked construction for many years. I don't like the edge of buildings. Unless I can grab something and I feel safe and I know whatever I'm grabbing isn't going to move, then I can look over the edge. But yeah, but it was fun jumping out of the plane until I landed wrong the second time.
Look, jumping out of a plane is never a problem. Falling all the way down is not a problem. It's a sudden stop at the end that's the killer.
Yeah. Well, I was wearing sunglasses. They didn't blow off my face. It was real windy. I flared my chute too high in the air, and I put my foot out thinking I could walk away from it when I should have dropped and rolled. And I was doing about 35 miles an hour when I snapped my right foot.
So we're talking about airplanes and stuff. I saw I don't know if y'all have seen it, but there's a picture that was released of a U-2 plane at altitude above that Chinese balloon. They were taking pictures of it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, the selfie. Yeah.
Oh man, that is one of the coolest pictures I've ever seen. Because I can't imagine it's very often that they release selfies from the cockpit of a U-2.
Yeah.
It's just like, because they were talking the whole time about, that balloon's 60,000 feet. It's way above where airline traffic is. The Raptor that shot it down had to do a special climb maneuver just to get high enough to get the missile shot out at it. And here's this U-2 that's, way up above it, just in a light bank. Just, look at me, click.
Yeah.
Dude up there in a freaking spacesuit.
No, the most scared I've ever been of heights was in Cliffs of Moher in Ireland.
Really?
They don't have any railings
That's
or
only
anything.
300 feet up.
You could just walk right off.
I know. I've been there.
Yeah.
I've hung over the edge and looked out over the edges and stuff as many times.
I did that, and my mind felt like the floor, like the whole world and the ground was shifting, trying to push me off into the water. I was like, nope.
Yeah, if I get near the edge of anything and I don't have any kind of safety, the first thing I'm thinking, an invisible entity is going to shove me or something's going to happen, so I need to be behind something or be safe.
I felt like the whole earth was shifting and tilting me towards that ledge.
Well, that's because you have a problem with heights, because people who have problems with heights, their mind does that to them. But no, Cliffs of Moher are lovely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, talking about real events for a minute, in Houston, Texas, I think it was in Texas a few days ago, a highway patrolman is pulling somebody over, another officer is assisting him. Here comes an out-of-control car, drunk, whatever, I don't know, that's going to hit the one officer and kill him. He sees it coming. He has one choice: jump over the guardrail.
Yeah.
But there's a problem. It's a 40-foot drop, and there's concrete below. So whether he knew it or not, I don't know, but he dove over the guardrail, went 40 feet straight down, landed on concrete. He's in critical. I don't know how he is now, but his option was the car is going to hit you and kill you, or you dive over the edge. And that's a shame. 40-foot drop is very hard to survive from.
Yeah, it depends on how you land, but yeah.
So maybe he didn't realize it, but if you see the car coming right at you, it's going to hit you. You're going to try to do whatever you can to get out of the way, and so hopefully he survives.
Hey, Jerry.
Yeah, I see it.
Hear that?
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Such a cool picture.
The balloon, the plane, the balloon.
That is super cool, Zach.
So
here's the thing I question.
That balloon is 60,000, so he's a couple
on the edge of space.
Thousand above that.
Yeah,
it's starting to get dark above him.
Yeah, the horizon.
Yeah, when the sky turns black, you pass the Carmen line. The Carmen line is 6 miles up.
Jeez. Humanity can do some crazy things. We do some really stupid things too.
Very cool.
Sorry, Jared. That was the edge of politics.
You ever heard Adam Savage talk about getting a ride in one?
No. I heard he was going up in. Wasn't he supposed to go up in Blue Origin?
I don't know. But they took him up in a U2, a trainer, and he said that he's allowed to say that he was above. What was it, like 40 or 50,000 feet? I was above that. I know the number, but I can't tell the number that I went to.
Yeah. No, but I thought he
was. Other countries don't know how high they can really go. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Jack is at it.
What you bottling, Jerry? Oh, vape.
Oh, my vape pen.
Oh, okay.
At least I don't smoke anymore. So I used to smoke 2 packs a day for many years, which is expensive. Cough, gag, choke, can't breathe, walk upstairs, you're about to die. So I went on to vaping, which is a lot of effort and work, but I don't cough, gag, and have trouble breathing anymore. Of course, it's not air. It's not good for you, anything you inhale, but it's 1,000 times better to vape than smoke. Cigarette.
Yeah, I quit vaping about 6 months ago. You know why?
Why?
Because I'm lazy.
Oh, because it's taking care of everything?
Yeah.
It's 2,000 times better for the people around you too. I don't know if anybody knows, but I do on-site computer work, both residential and commercial.
Yeah.
And you go into some people's houses, and they're just sitting on the couch as you're working, just chain smoking. 2 people chain smoking in the room with you. And everywhere you go for the rest of the day, you smell like an ashtray.
Yeah,
you're exactly right.
My parents smoke. One of my parents used to smoke.
I used to throw cigarettes out front, cigarette butts. I did that for like 15 years. And I eventually, when I quit smoking, I went and found 99% of them and picked them up. It was ridiculous how many cigarette butts I didn't put in a bucket. And then you stains your clothes, you smell, your breath smells.
I mean, everything in that house was yellow. Even like the buttons on their TV remote were yellowed.
Yeah,
it was disgusting.
I don't have none of that. All that goes away with vaping. But like I say, and I could vape a 0 and it have no nicotine in it whatsoever, but I vape a 6, so it does have nicotine. But if I ever wean myself down to a 0, then I could still vape, enjoy the act of doing it without any nicotine at all. So,
yeah, I won't speak on that because I'll only upset Jerry.
Yeah, Michael, I a laptop in a room where people smoke, or in a house that people smoke.
Oh, it's nasty.
The fans only last maybe a year or 2 at most. So they'll get like $2,000 MacBooks and they smoke next to them. And like, why is my computer dead after 3-4 years? And I'm like, well, you smoke near it.
Yep. All that tar settles on everything.
Yep. Because it's not just the fans; it settles and collects moisture out of the air and shorts out the board and gets in all the keys and the screen hinges. It's just nasty stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, one thing about vaping, you can be in the room with me when I'm vaping. Depending on the flavor, you might smell, and it might smell good, but it won't stink, and it dissipates and goes away instantly. I go to my sister's house. Her and her husband don't smoke, and I vape in their house. They don't care because it's not going to smell at their house. They're not going to. It goes away that quick.
I don't care if somebody vapes with me in my car, but you do not light up a cigarette even if you hang it out the window in my car.
Yeah, it'll stink.
I'm a little stricter than you are. None of that goes on in my car ever, or my home ever.
Not in my home because of Birdie Bird.
Well, but, I don't have bird, and I have a dog, but no, I have a strict no on both in my house.
Liam, if I was at your house sitting for a month and you were gone, and I did vape, and you said don't, and I did. When you came back, you would never smell it. That's my point.
I'd see you on the cameras, so yes, I would.
Well, I'm just saying. You wouldn't be able to smell anything. You wouldn't have known it happened.
Doesn't matter. It's not about the smell. I know it's dumping chemicals, so no.
Well, Liam, the last time somebody vaped in my car was Michael Moriani on the way to Murph.
Okay.
To give you an idea. So it's not a common occasion.
Kate, she's a mix between a shepherd and a husky.
Oh, Rob, we got a snake now.
Oh yeah, I saw the pictures on Facebook.
A lizard with no legs.
Yeah.
No. There's such a thing as a lizard with no legs, but a snake is not that.
Well, basically, I mean, it kind of looks like it. I like lizards. They look like dinosaurs, but snakes I don't like.
My wife.
Hold on, let's see.
My wife.
I'm not afraid of snakes. My brother can see a plastic snake from across the room, and he'll freak out and grab his gun and run another way.
Yeah, my mom does not do snakes. Yeah. But my wife and I finally came to a conclusion. She wanted a tarantula. I said no. But a jumping spider? Sure.
So this is a glass lizard. They are actually legless lizards. Hold on.
Tim, did you get it working? Joe wants to know.
Yeah.
What are you working on, Tim?
I had an issue with this board on the 2-part PCB.
Yeah, I know a snake's not a lizard.
Kept shorting out, kept giving me temperature spikes. So I went back to the single-part PCB board and just took this apart, put it all back together. Had to rewire all the fans and everything, and it seems to be working fine now. So
nice.
I just thought, what the heck? I don't plan to take this head off enough times to worry about the convenience of having a plug to plug in and out. So I thought, what the hell?
That makes sense.
So, yeah.
So, Jerry, the easy way to tell the difference between a legless lizard and a snake is their diet in their mouth. So this thing will eat what lizards eat, which is little small bugs. Whereas snakes usually eat
Mice
stuff
and
that's
rats.
bigger around than its head is, right?
Yeah, mice and rats.
So snakes can expand their jaws to get down huge pieces of prey, whereas these guys don't. It's just a lizard. It's going to eat like little mealworms or bugs or that kind of thing.
I seen a YouTube video the other day where this really big ass snake in some country swallowed a beach towel, and it was at a vet, and they had to slowly try to pull the beach towel out of its mouth. It was crazy long.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I've heard snakes can be very dumb. Sometimes they'll try to eat themselves and die.
Wow.
Yeah, they eat something that's too big and get stuck in them, and they die from it. Yeah.
Oh no, they'll eat their own tail. And
I haven't heard of that, but I've heard them that they often try and
I could eat myself.
They literally
I'll be
bite
hungry.
off board that they can chew, and it actually gets stuck in their system. That it kills them.
Well, speaking of mice, though, I accidentally kind of made a better mouse trap last night. This is a funny story. This is why I'm a little tired. Wife and I are laying in bed, falling asleep, just hanging out. It's about 1:32 a.m., somewhere around there, and we hear horrible chittering noise and then some crackling noise. And the whole house smells terrible. Like, really, really bad. So I go in my bathroom, which is where the laundry is, the washer and dryer in our master bath. And the dryer is kind of smoking. Back of the dryer.
Oh, they bit one of the wires?
No, it ran. Tim, that's really loud.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know. My mic is right beside it.
Okay. It ran into the 220 volt cover of the dryer and stepped on one of the bolts. And
they do that all the time.
It burned his leg off and cooked him.
I've seen so many like people who had electrical problems in their home, and you go to diagnose it, and you find fried mice and rats inside in circuit board in the breaker boards, and you find them like in the back of the wash machine that blew everything in the house because it was into the wash machine, or backs of TVs. Find them everywhere.
We don't have that big of a mouse problem. We live in the middle of nowhere, so we occasionally get a couple mice in the winter, but we have a cat traps.
These are people in rural areas, but they were farms because they get a lot of mice in farms. And you'd be amazed. Like, you open up a socket on the wall, and then behind it, there's a small mouse in there fried.
Ugh. It immediately smelled bad. I took care of it within like 10 minutes. The mouse wasn't even cold.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. That was probably a little grosser than most of your audio.
But a lot of the poisons you put down, like the warfarin-based poisons and so on. But I'm saying that a lot of those, what they also do, they have an additive that actually dehydrates the body. So if they die inside the wall, they dry up and they don't smell.
Larry, the only thing that the mouse blew was itself. It didn't blow any breakers or anything. Yeah, no poison.
That'd be horrible seeing a mouse blow anything.
It
can't take you anywhere, Jerry.
Mouse does porn. We don't want to see that.
The leg was its ground point. Its front left leg was its ground point, and it's burned off right on the shoulder. So, sorry, that's probably too much.
I've seen people lose fingers doing the same thing. Humans.
Oof. Yeah.
I'm looking at a different screen. I got to check something here on PayPal.
I saw a guy lose the tip of his finger doing the exact same thing.
Oof.
He touched something live and it burnt the top of his finger off.
Yeah, no, I have too much respect for electricity for that.
Yeah.
Now, Tim, I have burned myself several times doing what you were talking about earlier. Oh, you're muted, but yeah.
Oh, touching the
with the soldering iron, touching the side of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Kate, for the $25. Thank you very much.
Nice.
I thought I said earlier it was Joe Velasco that sent me money, but it was Kate that sent me money.
Maybe you got both.
No, I only see one. Thank you very much, Kate. I must have misspoke because I thought somebody else asked me. I thought it was Joe that said to check my PayPal, and I did, and I thanked him. But I guess I see it was from Kate, so I might be mistaken. Something's wrong here.
So you often find mice in air conditioning units.
Ugh.
It's not in the
Very much.
in the condenser in the outside. You find them in there because it's only a small cover covering the electronics, and in there that's where you have all your contactors and so on. Your 220 volts in there. And anybody who like Sergio was here, he could probably attest to squirrels and mice and rats all in there. You know.
Yeah, Jack the shop said something about them in triplet connectors to feed the
No,
house.
Nikita.
So yeah.
No more. No more.
While I don't like cats myself, I have an allergy to them anyway, and but they're great for if you have mice in our house and like that. They're great for them.
Yeah, no, my cat has caught 3 mice this winter, so.
Yeah, I got one dog.
Yeah, 3 mice, and then we got.
She's
the
a
dryer
handful.
got one.
She's more than enough.
Speaking
she's
of
got
cat.
she's got the protective sense of shepherd, and she's got the I only listen to you when I want to sense of a husky.
Love huskies.
Yeah, Larry, I had a Datsun 240Z that I put in storage for about a year, and
You're muted, Zach, if you're talking.
I said mice have no chance in my house because I have 7 cats.
Wow.
And 4 dogs, of which 2 were corgis.
So we're going to rename Zach to Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah, but I did
the animals.
Larry, I did the typical thing of putting steel wool and mothballs all over the car to try to keep them out of the exhaust and stuff like that. And they found all the mothballs and did their business on all the mothball bags that I put out to try to counteract the smell. But it
I'm
worked.
going to share my screen real quick. Here's my PayPal account. And this one right here is from Kate. I transferred it to my bank, and that's the only thing that I see. So I thought one came in from Joe, but I'm not seeing it here. So what I seen was from Kate, and I misspoke earlier, I guess. But thank you very much. And then last week, Kate gave me 25 last week. Thank you very much. Will help me immensely to pay things. Yeah, I have 2 dogs. One dog to keep the other dog company, and then if one should pass away, once I get over it after a few months, then I'll get another dog to replace the one that passed away to keep each other company. But that restricts me from going a lot of places. I'm worried about my dogs being at home alone, or my wife here with the dogs.
Yeah, we don't travel together. We like if there's someone going on vacation, like during the summer, like last year, my wife and my son went out to Hawaii. My daughter, I stayed home because I had to take care of the dog.
Well, interesting. Catnip.
That is really interesting. Thank you, Kate. That's useful information. I'm muting myself right now because my bird is jealous of my cat. What are you guys interested in for like what's going on with 3D printing, like innovations and stuff like that?
I'm just doing projects with my bamboo, and I'm selling off a lot of stuff that I don't use because I got the philosophy. I don't want to be the guy that has 25 printers. I used to have like 17 or 18. If I don't print with them, I don't need them. So,
yeah, that's my philosophy now.
But I mean, in terms of technology, I mean, like it seems. I think I've said this before, but like I've been going to IRFs and MRFs since 2019, and like there used to be some wild, cool, home-built printers out there, and the last couple, especially IRF, there were only like maybe 5 different models or printers that people had made and brought in. Everything else is either Vorons or like, not that kind of thing, but like, or like Creality and stuff like that. People didn't have the innovation that they used to, it seems like.
I think that the one thing that 3D printing really needs to fix is print speed. It's the one thing that actually, and we're getting there, but speed is a big thing. And then after that is reliability. I think a lot of printers out there today do not have are not reliable enough to be. We need like to make 3D printing normal in almost every home. They need to be usable like a DeskJet printer. You plug it in, you turn it on, you hit go, and it just you send the file to it, and you're done, right? And we're not there yet, and 3D printing has been out there for 35 years, and they still haven't gotten it to that point.
People overall, I don't think most people don't want to tinker and have to screw with it. They bought a printer because they want to print stuff. They didn't buy it hoping that it breaks down tomorrow and they can tear it apart.
So most 3D people who are into 3D printing are tinkerers like us, right?
And my Bamboo, I've never printed stuff. Other than my video when I unboxed it, I have not used my Bamboo to print any faster than standard speed. I haven't went to Sport or Ludicrous. I don't have a reason to.
Same here.
100. It says 100%, so I'm assuming that's 100 millimeters a second. And then if you go to Sport, it's 100. No,
250.
Okay, and then if you go to Sport, it says 124%.
Yeah, and then 166 is the Ludicrous.
Yeah,
of whatever your default speed was, your standard speed. But reliability is a big thing that we need to fix in the realm, because again, it's tinkerers who are into 3D printing. If you want to get every person into doing stuff like 3D printing, you need it to be reliable, like a DeskJet printer. And we're not there yet, and there hasn't been enough innovation. You covered your camera, Jerry, or not?
Let's need to get closer. I probably don't have enough light.
You do not have enough light.
It's an orange block.
Yeah, let me go back to my other camera. Wait till that goes away. Now, if I can get it in the light right.
It looks rough on the top.
Okay, can you see the two lines on it? I went to the third.
Yeah.
Yes.
A third of the way up was standard. Then I went to Sport. Then I went to Ludicrous. And then, of course, when I got to the top layer, because I didn't crank my temps up, it messed up. But other than that, it's a perfect block. When you look at it. Thank you, Mad Cat. Anyway, you can see it on the print, but the quality-wise is perfect.
Yeah, so we are getting there but there's a lot more work needs to be done on that side. I think the LiDAR is a nice option. I think ABL still isn't standard, and it should be standard on every machine of some form of ABL.
Oh, ABL, yeah.
It needs to be out there on every machine. It's not still today, and it's ridiculous.
My Kitty iFast does not have an ABL on it. It works perfectly fine. The bed is perfectly. Well, I don't think it does. It has.
It does. Its nozzle is the ABL built into the hot
end. Yeah, it must be. But anyway.
Yeah.
SV06 looks like a great printer for the price. It's like
there's issues with the SV06. It's not a perfect printer by any shape.
But if you do the 3D printing, out of the box, it pretty much works, right?
Yes, but it needs some work because I don't have one myself, but I've seen others. There are it doesn't have any the cable for the bed. There's no strain relief there at all, so that just flops around and it gets damaged easily. There's a couple of other issues like that out there. So then the next thing after those, quality of what's being pumped out needs to be fixed, because there's a lot of, let's be honest, crap coming out. That is, some of it is okay. But okay, if you're paying a couple of $100 for something, okay is not okay. It should be okay. It should be right.
Lightspeed had a bearing Steven go out on his Bamboo, and I seen the video on it. I'm not sure how he rectified it, but anything that moves fast, parts wear out, and you got to replace them. It's just a matter of how much trouble is it to get in where you got to replace the part.
Yeah.
I think for printers, 3D printers to become mainstream, in homes like paper printers, a couple things need to happen. They need to. I don't think they necessarily need to go any faster, because people put a roast in the oven and come back. They're okay with that,
Yeah.
Same kind of idea for printing, but they need to. I totally agree. They need to be more reliable. They need to be easier, and there needs to be some sort of printer driver kind of thing, like how computers do, where it's you don't have to format like the ink volume and the ink speed and the drying level or the fuser temperature level, all that. The driver takes care of all that. It gets the image from the screen, it processes it and sends it to the printer, and the printer does its thing. Layer heights and temperatures and speed and everything else. The average user doesn't need to mess with that. I like that as enthusiasts we can do that and change those things. The other thing is printers, I think 3D printers are too big for most people to put in their homes.
Yeah, Corey, when I started having a few problems with my printer on my slot 1 on my AMS, I looked under the table, I checked the bathroom, I looked behind the shower curtain. I knew Grant was here somewhere. He touched my damn printer. So yeah, I was looking everywhere for Grant. I've seen his videos.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Rob. Well, it depends on what someone's doing, because a lot of people have asked me in the past, can you print this? And the thing is enormous. And I went, well, no, because even with the biggest printer I have, I can't print that no matter what I do, right? And it's just slice up into multiple pieces and you glue it back together. And they didn't want to do that. I said, well, then you have to go to someone who does industrial level printing, and they'll charge you $500 to print it for you. Off you go. All right. I think we need to. I think quality is more of a bigger issue than size. I think if you get a big printer, a 300 by 300 printer, and the quality of the build of the machine and what it outputs is bad, then there's no point in it. I think any size printer is great, depending on the person's individual needs, based on the quality of the machine and the quality of what it produces. And now, with AI being so big, and I mean in a big way. What's that, Bamboo Labs?
United States Post Office. They denied my first claim on the model I sold on Etsy, where I refunded the guy's money. He didn't mail it back, and I put in a claim on it for $250. They denied it. Well, I repealed it. They denied it again and sent me a letter. And after carefully reading the letter, I realized what they're looking for that I didn't include. I gave them all the information they needed, but they wanted a physical PDF of the sale off my Etsy store, where it showed what was sold from Etsy, a reputable company, to that guy. So I sent that to him the other day. Now I'm waiting, and I think this time, hopefully, quiet! Stop! I'm hoping this time that I will finally pay. Yeah. My dog gets carried away with wanting a cracker or a bone, and like every 5 minutes, she's like, okay, give me another one, and she'll start acting up.
Yeah, so I think if we, like, with the advent of it, with so much going on now with AI, there is absolutely no reason why. Like right now, we use one camera in a printer. That's the new thing. One camera. That sees 1/3 of our 1/3 of the view, right? I think we need 4 cameras in a printer monitoring the print, and they can see if something's going wrong faster, and use AI to monitor. It's not hard to do.
But as far as plug and play goes, I think just the nature of the process of how it all works, it's going to require ongoing maintenance, and I think that's the hard part for some people. Belts are going to stretch, things are going to wear out, electronics are going to go wrong. So I don't know if they'll ever get there. There's always going to be some tinkering needed to a point. So,
well, I'm agreeing there's going to be some, but like there's going to be tinkering with your DeskJet print as well, because you're going to have to change cartridges, and it's going to dry out, or you're going to get a paper jam and stuff, right?
Replace rollers, but if it's cheap enough, the average consumer will just throw it away and buy a new one.
Yeah,
well, that's
just like an inkjet.
But the issue is you have to buy off is what can you do a 3D printer cheap enough to be a throwaway?
The ink costs more than the printer nowadays,
and I don't agree with okay, come on. That's I would say that I do not like the throwaway scenario.
Absolutely,
I'm against the throwaway scenario. I think they could machines could be designed and built in a way that they are easy to replace and upgrade, or at least have a way of saying, okay, this is not working, If you pay for a service, we'll send someone out to repair it for you, or you can ship it back to us and we'll fix it and ship it back to you. Right?
Too expensive.
No,
Well, maybe.
Too expensive for the average home user.
Depends on the initial investment, right? But I to some extent I would agree to some point. But I think it's possible to get to the reliability scenario with what we have today, and we just need to change how we cheap out on the components we're putting into something to get something that's reliable. Right? Now that's going to drive price up, but you get reliability. Like, why are we? Why? There's a question. Now, I'm going to just throw out an idea. Why are we using belts when we can use chains?
Hey, Sebastian.
Chains that are more reliable, that don't stretch, right? To drive the drive gears. So there's way you can do it with a small chain, with a small toothed chain, right? Really narrow teeth chain. That can be done for reliability. It won't stretch. Right? It doesn't give you as many problems because they're more reliable. They last longer, right? So this type of stuff, I'm just throwing that as an idea. There's things we can do to optimize a printer's reliability that are not ridiculously expensive. Chains do, but over a much longer period. So, like a belt will stretch over a space of a couple of months. A chain will stretch over many years. And chances are, by the time it breaks, then you're going to look at changing it.
Matt, you're absolutely right. Or Mad Cat, yep.
But I'm just saying, that was just an idea, right? That I was throwing out there. I'm not saying that's the answer, but there are ways of
printers shouldn't have belts. It should be somehow magnetically controlled. I don't know.
Which?
Well, paper printers use GT2 belts in many cases too.
They do, but they're not under the same speed and duress.
Right, which is why I think that upping the speed on like the HP DeskJet 4500 equivalent of a 3D printer is what I'm looking at. Like 10 years from now, are we going to be able to go to Walmart and drop $100, $150 on a 3D printer that you can just plug in?
You can do it today at Micro Center for $100.
Yeah, that's Micro Center though. I'm talking about.
You can do it today.
That's an enthusiast store for geeks.
Doesn't matter. It's a store. You can go and buy $1 for $100 today.
I understand. But my point is the simplicity and the availability of.
Not in my lifetime, Chris. Maybe in 500 years, but it'll happen. Yeah. Everything happened. If it's been in sci-fi movies, eventually it will happen.
Or something similar to it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not talking about.
We can actually.
As long as China, Russia, U.S., and North Korea don't get into a conflict, it could happen.
But Jerry, we can actually transport. You know the transporter? We can actually transport stuff today. One molecule. But we can transport.
Quantum entanglement's cool.
It is no, it's not quantum entanglement. No,
it's not.
No. We can actually read all the details. We have to use a supercomputer. We can read all the details of a molecule, like of a single atom, and destroy it and rebuild it. And the furthest we've done was 1,500 miles away.
What about
we
Heisenberg?
Can transpose matter and destroy and rebuild matter all over again on the opposite side. We can do it today. We have done it.
I thought the Heisenberg
No, we have done single matter. We can't do more complex. We haven't gone anything bigger than a single molecule, but we can do it today. We've done it successfully.
I thought Heisenberg
we sent it through a satellite and back down again and rebuilt it on the other side.
I didn't think you could know the location and speed of something simultaneously.
That's why we're doing it as a single molecule, because it's not complex.
Hello.
We can do it for our single atom. We can do it with a single atom. We can't do it with anything more complex than that today. But we can actually do it. We've proven it. That was done 5 or 8 years ago, something like that.
How are you doing, Lacey? Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
Can't hear you.
That work?
Yeah, we didn't want to.
I ask you guys a question since you're all men.
Uh-oh.
Why, when I come home and really, really have to pee after a long day of working and making more money than him, do I come home to this in the bathroom?
I deal with that shit all the time. Sorry,
That's
Jared.
not just a guy thing, right? That's just a stupid Zach thing.
And my wife does the same thing.
A stupid human thing.
Keep the whole pack in the bathroom, either in front of the toilet or underneath.
My wife does this.
The cats shred it. We usually keep like 2 or 3 rolls in on a shelf above the toilet. The cats will pull it down and shred it, or the dogs, if it lands on the floor, will eat the roll.
My wife
It's not
does
a
the same
gender
thing.
thing, it's a person thing.
I have to do the walk of shame.
Okay, here's a more important question: over or under? And I say over, never under.
I don't give a shit, literally, because it's just
if
to
you have
get off your ass or to pat dry after the bidet. Like, I really don't care.
If you have cats, you put it under because the cats will get the end of it and play with it. If you
The
put
cats
it over,
attack
the
it
cat
anyway,
will unwrap
it
the whole
doesn't
thing.
matter.
If your hand isn't 100% clean and it's under, you're gonna have to clean the wall. So that, I think over.
Well, Jerry, if your hand isn't 100% clean, you're doing it wrong.
Zach, you've been outed.
You're doing something wrong, Jerry. If
I'm
your hand
sorry,
isn't clean.
Cat. I'm sorry.
What did I miss?
They broke up.
And now let's talk
why
about the
when I
bamboo
come
and
home after a
hoop
long,
shoe.
hard day at work making more money than you do I have to do this? Why do I come home to this in the bathroom? Go get another roll. Put it back, please. I'm gonna spray.
Oh, I heard that. That was for everybody else. That was not the chair moving. That was
Usually when he calls on or near me, I have a can of Febreze around and I spray. I'll go like pants him and spray his ass.
Maybe here's an idea. Maybe you should install one inside Zach.
Maybe I should what?
Install a free breeze inside Zach.
Thanks, Corey.
I wish.
There was still some on the roll.
Go put another
Yes,
roll
it
in.
is.
Thank you. Is that difficult for you?
I would have done it when it was empty. It wasn't empty yet.
Next time I go to work and leave you home all day, I'm gonna leave you completely stranded with no toilet paper. I'm gonna go put the toilet paper in the car and lock it.
Is that gonna be calling you? Hey, come let yourself in my house. I need toilet paper. Bring me a roll.
Oh, don't do that. He'll use the cats.
Don't do that. He'll use the cats.
Who was it that just done a video on that was really funny where they grabbed the cat? Who was it? Somebody we know.
That was Matt. Matt did that with his cat.
Oh yeah, that was really
Jared.
funny. I forgot to tell Matt how funny that was. Where he grabbed the cat and wiped with a cat. That was hilarious.
It's either that, and if you're doing that, hide the
Hey,
hand.
Jared,
or
how you
go in
doing?
the bathroom.
Good to see you.
I did that with my cat. I'd come back with less parts.
I'm gonna show this to Jared. I'm gonna try to get the video done tonight, Jared, but it came out great. Other than where I had that extrusion problem where my towel, the prime towel fell over.
That's kind of cool.
Hey, look at this.
What am I supposed to look at?
So yeah, those are real cool. You put a beer bottle in them.
You put a beer in it, you unscrew the top and drink out of it.
That's cool.
They're from Lightspeed. He designed them. He has them on his Patreon.
That is super.
Hey Jerry, I need to go because I have a sick boy upstairs that needs my attention.
All right. Well, I'm gonna rave it here in a second. I got
All right.
other stuff I need to get done today.
Fun as always, guys. Take care.
Take care, Liam. Have a great night.
Have you seen our new corgi?
I think I saw a picture of it on Facebook. Oh yes, I have. Because I remember because he's a darker corgi than most.
Go.
Whoa, get down. Okay, you're okay.
Don't break the chair. Oh,
You want to go out? You hungry? You want to eat dinner? Let's go eat dinner. Oh my god. We gotta go to them monsters. You hungry? Let's go get dinner.
Oh, Tim, do you have,
One of my dogs ran outside barking. The other one's ignoring it.
Tim, do you have that new Voron probe where it knocks the whole assembly up to do a Z level?
The top, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm putting on my 2.4 amp side.
I'm still using an inductive probe on my Voron. I'm so old school.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
Read my shirt.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna sell those or not. I'm gonna put Lightspeed. I might print them and put them on my Etsy store. I'm not sure yet.
I don't know. Are we family friendly or not?
Well, it depends. How we're PG.
PG?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
And then check out this hat. Mario Bros.
Mario Bros.
Okay,
It's supposed to look like Marlboro.
Yeah, okay.
Got that, yeah. Jerry, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think if there's anything cool I can talk about or show before
Hey,
we.
I'll probably have my video out tomorrow on my bottles and where they came from and all that stuff.
Cool.
They're from Stephen Lightspeed's Patreon account. And then I did another video on one from Nico Industries, and that was this one here that he sells a file for $8, but it separates and you unscrew, you put a beer bottle. But this should have been oversized. It's too small for the bottles that I want to put in it. And then when it's completely tight, it goes past center. It's a similar type of thing. And this is the reason it's not done in the purple and the green is because I ran out of filament, so I had to go with like a tan color for the rest of the way up from TH3D Studios.
Kate, I have an African gray. Or Katie, sorry.
Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. R1 Tony, thank you very much for the follow on Twitch. And those watching on YouTube, please subscribe while you're here. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And if you're following on Twitch, you're welcome to subscribe or follow on Twitch. Follows are free and subscribes on YouTube are free. I think I'm gonna
get out of here. I'm gonna go try to make us some dinner.
Yeah, I'm gonna raid another channel on Twitch. Let me see who we got here. Zolan's on with 13 watching. I'm gonna raid Zolan.
Oh, cool.
Tim, what time are you on tomorrow? Or are you on today?
5 o'clock tomorrow, Mountain Standard Time, 5 p.m. Don't know what I'm doing yet. I haven't scheduled anything. I may just do a chat and whatever. Like a final, this is it for the Vorons and what's next.
All right. So everybody that's watching on Twitch, I'm going to raid over to the Zolan.
I hear you, Mad Cat. Me too.
It's counting down. And everybody on YouTube, thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for the donations and super chats. Thank you very much, Kate. I really appreciate you helping me out like that. And everybody have an awesome day. And I'll be back next week, 1 p.m. Pacific. And here goes the raid to Twitch.
Thanks,
and everybody have an awesome day.